Upstate.
Well, Tolos, the NBA season is done, but we're not done talking NBA, not by a long shot, because, Cole, we are just 6 days away from the NBA draft, and there are 6 days left for the Milwaukee Bucks to try to make Giannis happy, or things go terribly awry. Welcome into Wire to Wire. He's Cole Bryson back in the network studios. I am Diesel right here on location at Ingles in Greer. Come by and see us. We'll be here all the way until 7 o'clock with a $25 Ingles gift card to the first Tolo that comes in and says Tolo right to my face. Welcome to the show. Cole, how you feeling today?
Tolo.
Yeah?
Do I get the gift card?
Well, if you can get here quick, because I know this store is always popping. Yeah. This store is always popping. You know, we always see Rick. You know, Rick is in Greer. We're in Greer. Rick, this is your call to get on down here. We always see a ton of Tolos show up when we come up this way, Cole. So
you're brave, by the way. Calling for Rick. You're really brave today on this Wednesday. As I'm in the, like you said, I'm in the Ingles Market Studios. You're live on location. You are brave on this Wednesday.
Yeah. You never know what could happen at this store, especially when you call Rick out, right? Because he may show up with free pizza. He may show up with girlfriend number 4. He may show up with Dewey. You know, you just never quite know.
Don't say that. His number 5 might be listening or something. You never know.
Well, if you need to punch it into the GPS, Tolos, we're at 1524 Locust Hill Road in Greer, over by the Lake Robinson area, over by the water tower. If you know Greer, that's where we are. Come and see us.
Good to see Dan B on the YouTube stream, already checking in. Diesel, by the way, if you are new to the show, you can watch the show live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. 10 Tolos have already checked in there. You get to see Diesel and I's mug shot, if you will, live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Dan B and a few others already watching. Again, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at the Fan Upstate, at the Cole Bryson on X. And Diesel, I am excited, fired up. A little tease. Later in the before we get into the NBA real quick, Andrew Rieddell, good friend of the show, who has joined us for the last 3 or 4 weeks in a row, is joining us live from Omaha again this week. Last week he joined us, Diesel, live on the field. And this week, I believe that North Carolina game should be close to wrapping up. So fired up for that at 4:22.
Yeah, we got a tight ball game right now, a 2-0 ball game in Omaha. North Carolina, 2-1 ball game. North Carolina leading West Virginia. They just hit a little blooper into left center field. Cole, runners on first and second with no outs. Look out, here come the Tar Heels. West Virginia had really good pitching yesterday against Troy. I mean, they completely shut them down. They allowed Troy to get into positions where they could score and make this an interesting game, especially in those middle innings. But, hey, ultimately pitching one out, and maybe they're a little gassed today, not entirely sure. But, hey, we're in the top of the third, still a long way to go in this ball game. Cole.
And, by the way, real quick scoring update, the Giants – in last night's game that was postponed, the Giants lead the Bravos 5-2. So the Braves losing again. They'll play again tonight in the originally scheduled game at 7:15, but the Braves not off to a good start today.
Cole, we've talked a lot over the past year. Gosh, it feels like the only saga that's lasted longer than the Brendan Sorsby saga is the Giannis Antetokounmpo saga. He supposedly, if you believe certain sources, wants out of Milwaukee and wants to go to a contender. Now, Giannis has never publicly said that. He's actually said in podcasts over the past couple of weeks that, you know, he would love to stay in Milwaukee for his entire career, but he is being linked constantly to some of the big coastal markets that always seem to draw the studs that get drafted to those central markets. You get 5, 6, 8 years out of them, and then boom, they
regardless of what he's said in the past, I still think Giannis Antetokounmpo in his best interest should look at leaving Milwaukee and going on to a different, possibly bigger market. And here's why. Diesel, we don't talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo unless he's in the NBA Finals. And give him a lot of credit. He brought Milwaukee an NBA Finals just a few years ago. But if you look at the situation with the stars littered across the NBA in big markets, Giannis Antetokounmpo sometimes gets forgotten about. Am I saying trade him just because he's or ask for a trade, Diesel, just because he's in a small market? No. But I do think at the end of the day, LeBron James has also showed you this. I think there's more than just like your basketball value, if that makes sense.
That's true. I mean, as far as basketball value goes, I mean, he is a top 5 player in the league. And it is unfortunate. And I mean, hey, not every great player wins titles. Looking at you, Charles Barkley. Looking at you, Patrick Ewing. Not every great player goes and wins a title. It feels like it would be a tragedy, though, Cole, if Giannis goes his entire career and only gets one, right? I mean, he feels like too good of a player to only get one and to be stuck in a market like Milwaukee that you know is never going to be that kind of team that pushes for a title caliber roster every single year. That's just not in their makeup. They get a Giannis in the draft. They can milk everything they can out of him. But let's be real. It's not a destination market. How many guys, how many superstars are saying, you know what, I want to go play in Milwaukee, Wisconsin in December, January, and February? They're not saying that, man. They want to be in LA. They want to be in South Beach. They want to be where things are happening.
And I think to that point, that just goes to show why I think there's value in at least exploring other options. And again, you brought it up. I've heard him say it on podcasts as well. He has said he's happy there, but again, what's said on podcasts doesn't always equate to the truth, right? And look, I have no issue keeping that close to the vest. I have no issue with that at all. I just don't know that when you look at their roster, they have a good roster. I don't know that they have a roster that's built to contend in the totality of being able to do what the Oklahoma City Thunder can do, to be able to do what the Spurs can do over the next few years. What I mean is building on something. They have talent, and they had talent when they won that championship. And Giannis is one of the best players on the planet, on planet Earth. But you just look at what you just said. When you attract talent to Milwaukee, are you going to consistently be able to do that? Are you going to consistently be able to get other guys, other superstars around the ML or around the NBA to come play? I don't think so. I think it would be in Giannis's best interest. And Tolos, you tell me if I'm wrong or if you disagree at 844-326-3663. I think it's in Giannis's best interest to ask out.
I mean, there's a reason, Cole, why guys like Karl Anthony Towns leave the Minnesota Timberwolves and go to the New York Knicks, right? I mean, yes, the money is there and it's easy to try. You know, that's a big factor. But everybody wants to play in the biggest cities where the lights are brightest, where championships are not always an uphill vertical climb, right? I mean, all championships are a climb, but you don't want to be running into a wall. And that it feels like Giannis is running into a little bit of a wall there with the Bucks. He is a 10-time All-Star, 10 years in a row, an NBA champion. I don't know, Cole, how many teams are going to be able to afford his $58.5 million per year salary. We've well established it on the show. Superstars don't take pay cuts. So what team is going to be able to move the right pieces around and be able to make the cap space to be able to afford a guy like him? I mean, there's
the Dodgers.
That's true. That's true. Very, very well said. You know, you ask certain insiders, Brian Windhorst, others, you know, he's been connected to Boston. He's been connected to the Knicks. He's been connected to Miami. The packages would have to be enormous to get Giannis. And it sort of begs the question also, if you're Giannis and you're commanding that much trade value, what's going to be left around you when you go to Miami, right? I mean, you could go to Miami and be traded for Tyler Hero, Kal-El Ware, Jamie Jaquez Jr., and a couple of picks. But if you go there, it's just going to be you one other good player and a bunch of nobodies, is that good enough to win a title there either?
Well, that's the thing. And by the way, I'm waiting on the text where somebody says, Cole, the Dodgers aren't an NBA team. I'm waiting on that text because I know that text is coming. But, Diesel, I think to that point, I don't think there are many teams that actually have the ability to pull it off. We may name 5. We may throw 5 teams out there. I don't know that the Bucks are under a tremendous amount of pressure to take the first workable offer. And look, any trade involving Antetokounmpo would reshape the team's direction for years on both sides, right? I think the Celtics, because of who they are viewed as a landing spot. Would he sign an extension there? I think there's some complications there as well. Boston has typically preferred to keep major roster moves quiet, not known for operating in trade situations when a player's camp has like major trade rumors in the process. And Antetokounmpo and his reps have reportedly tried to have some involvement in discussions, which could make the Celtics pursue a little bit more difficult. Diesel, I don't know that could happen. Miami also is really interesting. I've seen that one brought up as well. You mentioned a few that Brian Windhorst brought up. Miami, I feel like, and you tell me what you think here, obviously Giannis in Boston would be scary with Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
But I feel like the need in Miami is greater than the need in Boston. And with that being said, I think Miami would be a little bit more aggressive to pull a Los Angeles Rams type of trade or whatever it may be, a Los Angeles Dodgers type of trade, and whatever it takes to get them there, they try to get them there. Miami needs that cornerstone right now.
True. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And like I said, he goes to Miami. He is the cornerstone. If he goes to Boston, he's teamed up probably with Jason Tatum. I don't know enough about those two, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, to tell you which one is most likely that the Celtics would be willing to ship off to get Giannis. I mean, it
Brown.
feels okay. That makes sense. I think he is an immediate upgrade over Jaylen Brown, and it makes Boston probably the day one favorite in the East.
Oh, no doubt. It makes Boston the number one favorite maybe in the NBA. I mean, if you pair Giannis, now look, the rest of the roster obviously matters, but yeah, they're going to, if that were to happen, they'd be the number one favorite in the East. And if that were to happen, they might be the favorite in the NBA. I mean, Jason Tatum, look, I know that they weren't in the NBA Finals. They lost in the conference champion, or they know they lost earlier in the playoffs. I know they won in the conference championship or NBA Finals this year. But let's not forget that Jason Tatum is a transcendent type player. And I mean transcendent type player. So when you get that kind of guy, when he's healthy with Giannis Antetokounmpo, I mean, that would be deadly. Could it not work? I mean, sure. I mean, things don't work. I mean, that happens. But gosh, those two that feels like a super team potentially in the making, Diesel.
So the question for you, Tolos, at 844-FAN phone, text in or call in, did Milwaukee play themselves by putting a timeline on it? I mean, by making a I wouldn't say a deadline, but a timeline, does that put them in a position, Cole, where there's only a handful of teams that could make this trade and everyone else falls off? It kind of limits the number of teams that are interested, and it sets them in a position where they don't have the leverage. So text in, what do you think, Tolos, 844-326-3663, or message in on the stream. We got a lot of Tolos, Cole, that go by Boston this or Boston that. Where are the Boston fans on whether or not they would want to have Giannis Antetokounmpo in Boston and what they'd be willing to give up to go and get him? But we're going to find out here in a couple of days, Cole, if the Bucks are able to pull off a deal like this in the timeline that they want. They would obviously like to know what they need to try to replace. You can't replace Giannis, but they will know what they have to go get in the draft, because they certainly wouldn't want to draft a guard or a center or a small forward and then realize, oh no, Giannis is out the door after the draft. Now we're another year away from being able to figure something out.
And you know what? Like, I still think there's a possibility that he comes back to Milwaukee. I don't think it's I'm torn right now. I don't know where I would put a number percentage on it. I would just say this. I think Milwaukee, and I don't know that they feel this way, but this is an outsider perspective. I think Milwaukee might be to the point where it's riskier keeping him than trading him. I mean, they are an aging team. They've missed the playoffs. Giannis, look, he's still valuable enough to bring a franchise-altering haul of young players and draft picks. He's older, but he's not old. He's not an old player by any means. And he's still to the age where if they were to get somebody to take on that kind of contract, boy, you're talking about the haul you'd get in. I mean, you would set yourself up for the future in a nice way.
I mean, who is willing to go all LA Rams and say F them picks and go get them? I mean, again, you look at some of these proposed packages, and they're talking about with the Heat, Hero, Ware, Jacquez, pick swaps, and multiple first-round picks to go get Giannis. And
I do it.
That's a lot, though.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
Yeah, Tyler Hero's good. Like he's a good guard, but he's not like a franchise-altering guard. That roster, I think they still have Norman Powell, Andrew Wiggins, those two guys. They still have. You mentioned Ware. They just don't have. And I love Bam and what he did. Bam did a lot for that city, but whatever. Like if you're Miami, you don't have a roster right now where you feel like it's going to build for the next 5 to 10 years. When that Luka Doncic trade happened, Diesel, and LA went out and got Luka, the Dallas Mavericks got enough back to where they could go draft Cooper Flagg and build around what they had. They've still got some aging pieces, but you just don't have. I know that you've got some talent on that roster, but you don't have the core right now. I don't think if you're Miami, I don't think you have the core to make a champ. You're not winning the championship. In today's NBA, we talked about this yesterday. You're not winning a championship unless you've got a dude, and as much as I love Bam, he's not like the guy at his position, a center in the modern NBA. He's not going to carry you to a title. And Tyler Hero and Norman Powell and Andrew Wiggins, I mean, they're good, but they're not carrying this Miami Heat to a title. So this Miami Heat team. So I think if you're Miami, like I said a few minutes ago, I think the Miami Heat, Diesel, are the team that should make the biggest push for Giannis.
It's going to be interesting to find out. Again,
it's Miami, for crying out loud,
Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch. 6 days, in case you're wondering, the players that are currently being listed there at the tippy top of the NBA draft. A.J. Diabanza, the 6'9" freshman forward from BYU. He's got the body style to maybe play like a Giannis. Not saying that he'll be Giannis. Cam Boozer from Duke, projected number 2 to the Jazz. Darren Peterson, 6'5" guard from Kansas, projected number 3 to Memphis. Let's see, Caleb Wilson from North Carolina, projected to go to the Chicago Bulls. Fascinating one there. And then Darius Acuff, the 6'2" guard from Arkansas, to the LA Clippers, number 5.
Diesel, let's take a look. Keep it in the NBA. Let's take a look at a way too early 2027 odds to win the next NBA championship. We'll come to the phone lines and get TA on the other side. First up, you can get in on the conversation as well at 844-326-3663. Well, it won't happen for another year, another calendar year almost, but why not a way too early look ahead at the 2027 NBA champion odds? Before we get into that, Diesel, let's go to the phone line. TA has waited through the break. TA, appreciate you doing that, and good to hear from you, man. What's on your mind?
Hey, guys, again, great show at a time when the NBA season just ended, the NHL season just ended with a wonderful Carolina Hurricanes Lord Stanley Cup winner. Just about Giannis Antetokounmpo, I wanted to chime in on that. And yes, I firmly believe he's going to leave Milwaukee. He's 28 years old. So to me, he's got 6 years if he's pairing with the right people that they can possibly create a dynasty. And I just real quick, I forgot who y'all paired him with. Most likely that might could result in something like that. Before I give you my pick, what did y'all come to a conclusion on?
We had Miami and potentially Boston, right, Diesel? Is that it?
Yeah, Miami, Boston. I would say Boston is the most likely, in my opinion, just because it's the cleanest trade. You know, you move on from Jaylen Brown, and then maybe a piece, maybe a draft pick or something like that, and you can make it relatively simple. For Miami, the Heat would have to give up a ton to get him, and I think that puts him in too deep of a hole.
Yeah. Right. No, I totally agree with Boston. That's my pick. Like you said, the numbers seem easy with getting rid of basically swapping salaries with Jaylen Brown and bringing in a Giannis. Obviously, Jaylen Brown is a superstar. With Tatum out this past year, played at an MVP level. So Jaylen Brown's superstar status is just can't be questioned. But Giannis brings a different type of players that can get up and down the court, that can dominate the paint, that can. But you always have to be concerned about the injury plays with him, and sometimes I don't even know if they're real. He's in Milwaukee. Milwaukee trying to save his body for that next game, and I think he's giving Milwaukee all he could possibly give. If you give a team an NBA title and then they just won't put the right parts around you to continue to win at that level, then, again, I think you've got at least 6, maybe 7 plus years left in the tank to make that type. But pair him with Jason Tatum, put Boston back in a category of, with the very good role players they have, that can create a next 3, 4, 5 year potential dynasty. Of course, you got to worry about San Antonio, and I don't think Sacramento is going. They went 7 games last year with Indiana in the NBA Finals. So, yes, they're a great team, but I don't think it's sustainable enough for them to be considered a dynasty. I think their championship and their wonderful player, got that won the 2-time MVP.
SGA.
SGA, thank you. I get a little mistake. Anyway, SGA is going to be wonderful for several more years, but I think they've maxed out. I think they're strapped salary cap. They do have some picks, and I don't know if you've looked at what Boston has to give away other than Jaylen Brown, but they do have a few. I know they have 1 first-round pick they can put with Jaylen and get Giannis back. And last thing, I'm taking Rory and Scottie Scheffler and giving everybody the field because until they got killed in the U.S. Open golf tournament this week, obviously the conditions have been talked about. They say they're going to run the stent meter back down to 10 because of the fairways are wider than they've been in 20 years at a U.S. Open. So the fairways are wide. You got to hit the fairways, which seems attainable for guys like Rory, who's a well-known accurate driver as well as
TA. Does it not worry you though, as bad as Scotty's played this year? Does that not worry you a little bit?
I don't think he played bad. I just think other guys have upped their game. I still think you'll look at the top 10 finishes. I wouldn't say he's playing bad. He's still the number one player in the world.
TA. He's playing bad on Thursday and Friday, and then doing a great job recovering on Saturday and Sunday. The problem is when you're having to start from like 8, 9, 10 strokes back and make comebacks, you are unlikely to find yourself at the top of the leaderboard.
I'll give you that. But I think, obviously, with this history, I think 5 major championships, and they're all talking about a Grand Slam with the U.S. Open. Scotty has made it clear he don't care about that. Rory made it known that he did care about that. And ultimately, he got it with the recent Masters Championship. But he put thought. I just think Scotty Scheffler is made up different, like Tiger Woods was made up.
I think so. TA, how many times, by the way, how many times in your life have you used a step meter?
I'll ask I'm familiar with it. I've never used it. I know how.
I just wish you had one in your golf bag is what I wish.
No, I don't, because obviously the ground screw, they put it at a slanted angle and they roll the ball off of it, a slanted angle device, and they determine how fast the green roll. And if you've seen any videos, like a 3-foot putt, they've been rolling off the green. They were at like 15, which is super, super fast considering the penalties if you miss the fairway. So if they had to slow them down, they say they're going to roll them at a 15, which is the highest a U.S. Open has been rolled at. I don't even think they can find the last time the U.S. Open was rolled at a 15 on the 10 feeder. But they have to give the players a chance, because if you hit it in the center of the green and you get penalized for it rolling off the green, now you're chipping up. I mean, you're talking about embarrassing the best players in the world if they didn't.
Forget them. They're millionaires. Who cares if you embarrass the best players in the world? They're multi-millionaires. They can take it.
I love that. No, I love that. I'll let you guys go, but I love the fact that the best players are challenged like we feel when we're out there playing. I love to see, like the last major championship, it was tough, windy conditions, and I think the Masters is 9 under, maybe won it for Rory. I'm going to say this, too, before I let you go. I think the winning score at Shinnecock Hills with the wind up there on the most beautiful island the United States has.
Over?
Right across the bridge in New York. I'm going over. Ooh. I think +3, +5.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
So
that'd be wild, wouldn't it? That'd be wild.
That would be nice to see. So I enjoy seeing the best players in the world struggle at playing golf. Being scared to step over a putt, not knowing if he's going to hit it 15 feet high, 3-foot putt. So
that's true.
That's
true.
TA, thanks for calling, man.
Love you guys.
Good call, TA.
Appreciate you, man. Always appreciate you, TA.
Cole, have you seen the videos of guys out there just dropping golf balls into the high grass off the edge of the fairways? I mean, they can drop it, like hold an arm out and drop it, and then they can't find the ball because it's so far down in there. I mean, you're gonna need a Toro lawnmower to find your golf ball. That's how deep the rough is in some of these places.
And you clowns that play golf think that's enjoyable? I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, I can take you and find 10 more enjoyable things than that.
You know what? If you're a good golfer, Cole, you don't find your way in that stuff. You don't go 50 yards to the right of the center of the fairway, and you won't have that problem. Yeah, you won't have that problem. Tolo's live here.
Going.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. You go ahead. Let us know where you are, Diesel.
No, I was going to say, Tolo's, we are here at Ingles Markets in Greer, the location over by Lake Robinson, the address 1524 Locust Hill Road. Be the first Tolo to come up and say Tolo. I can't believe it's lasted 34 minutes. And you'll get this $25 Ingles gift card. See, there's a sticker right there on it. It says 25, and it could be yours.
Brandon in Spartanburg got the one last week, and he got lucky. He was later in the show, and he came by and got it. So, Tolos, go see Diesel. I'm back in the Ingles Market Studios. Let's keep it rolling on the phone lines, 844-326-3663. Kev wants to get in. What's up, Kev?
What up, fellas?
Good to hear from you, man, as always.
I know that's right, man. I tell you what, shout out to my boy TA, bro. Like, that's my guy right there. I love me some TA, man.
Give him a shout out.
Hey, man, I love some TA, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's big. I don't have a big brother. That's my big brother right there.
Well, you know what? That's what makes local radio fun, right?
Bringing
that's
Tolos
what
together.
makes local radio fun. That's right. And you know, Diesel and I can sit here and talk about whatever until the cows come home. But and we've said it multiple times. We let you guys go. We let TA go. We let sometimes Dewey. We let our callers because you guys bring good stuff and it's local and that local aspect. I mean, that's what makes local radio fun here in the Upstate, Kevin.
Hey, we got to put a Tolo hangout together.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. When are we gonna do it? When?
Hey, I tell you what, I bet you put it together. A bunch of them gonna show up. I feel like if Cole Bryson say we having a Tolo hangout at such and such, be there or be square. I think they all be there.
Well, you know what? I think we need to work on that.
We can have to work
and
on
you
it.
know, maybe. Hey, I'll tell you what. Friday's an option. I mean, if we're talking about Spartanburg Tolos or Greenville Tolos, I mean, I don't know if Greenville Tolos will drive to Spartanburg or vice versa, but we are off on Friday for Juneteenth, Kev. And I mean, what about a little Juneteenth celebration, Juneteenth Tolo hang? I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Hey, we can get some two-stepping going on, some limbo, and some other stuff going on.
I love it. I'm
not getting into limbo, though.
Hey, we'll meet up out at the dock, and Kev will all hop on your boat and go out on the water. How about that?
Yeah, you get that big money.
I've been looking at some boats here lately. Like, I got to get me a boat one day, man. And not no little John, but we need something everybody can get on. And
yeah, pontoon.
We might have to get a view that we can sit on the boat with.
You're a pontoon kind of guy.
I feel like that's what I'm.
You're a pontoon kind of guy.
Low and slow.
I like that.
Kev's low and slow.
Right.
I like it.
Low and slow. I like the slow part.
I do too. I do too.
You got. I'm not the biggest golf fan. Like I watch it, but to know that we got a guy from Inman, my high school, Jacob Bridgman, in this thing, I think I'm about to turn. I'm turning it over to the golf land now. After football season, back, like I need to get into golf and I need to get more into baseball. I'm a Braves guy.
Yeah,
but I just need to get more into knowing who they are.
Yeah, give it a few more days before you get into them. By the way, they're struggling right now.
Hey, they started out like on fire, right?
I know they did.
You know, Kev, they say that there's golf and one other thing that you don't have to be good at to enjoy. I'm sure you know what that other thing is.
Listen, we're trying to keep radio on.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, that's a good point. Kev, though, it's a good point about Bridgman. I mean, I think there's a lot of people probably in the Spartanburg area that have watched more golf over the past year, especially this year. And when he won, he just won Tiger Woods' tournament earlier this year out in L.A. And I would imagine he tees off tomorrow, by the way, at 8:14 a.m., and I would imagine, to your point, there are probably a lot of people in Spartanburg that maybe already watch golf. But, I mean, you've got a guy, like you said, from Inman that's that good, that's already won his first PGA win, gotten his first PGA win at the age of 26. And that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
I love it. I tell you what, now that we ain't got basketball, and I wish it would win a few more games, but it went where it went real quick.
Yeah.
And now we got to figure out what. But I keep seeing these football things come up on like YouTube. Is there like what football league is going on?
Right now, the UFL.
UFL.
Yeah.
Is they're getting any viewers? Or is this on?
No, they're getting viewers. Tom in Somerville's a big proponent of it, right, Diesel? Isn't that right? Isn't Tom the one that called in all excited about the UFL?
Yeah, he's the only one who watches it, but he's into it. He's into it.
If don't nobody else listen to. If don't nobody else with the Gamecocks listen, you better listen to Tom.
No doubt. No doubt. You've got, by the way, just so you know, you've got the Birmingham Stallions, A.J. McCarron, former Bama quarterback. He's the coach, by the way. You've got the Columbus Aviators, the Dallas Renegades, the D.C. Defenders, the Houston Gamblers, the Louisville Kings, the Orlando Storm, and the St. Louis Battlehawks. Those are all of the teams in the UFL.
Oh, nice. I seen a little Cam Newton had this little YouTube thing, some 7-on-7 there, and Chris Leak showed up.
Oh wow!
Chris Leak still look like he can play a little bit, man.
Man,
I don't know. I don't ever really know what happened to him. Like in the league, but that man can play football.
Did I hear you say, Cole, A.J. McCarron is the coach? I don't like the thought that A.J. McCarron's old enough to be coaching football.
Yes, he is.
Gosh.
That is correct. And he's the coach of the Birmingham Stallions, and then they're not off to a good start.
26, is he?
No, he's not old. He's probably young, might be in his 30s. He's not. They're not doing too good though. I mean, there was a viral video. He's like 35, I think. They were struggling, and a couple of fights in the locker room. They're taking things serious, which I get, but I don't know. I just can't get into it.
Have you seen the Good Morning America with OG on?
No.
No.
Yes. Was he stoned out of his mind or what? I mean, what was
he? Was I don't know what cloud he probably, he don't even know what cloud he was on.
I did see that, Kev. I did see that. You're right.
This dude was out of here, like he was gone.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I don't even think he could talk.
I guess winning an NBA championship does that to you, huh?
Hey man, we'll have a parade and we'll get a few grown folk juices and good stuff like that. But whatever he had, eyeballs was big as basketball. He couldn't say nothing. They just laughed at him the whole time.
They did.
That was pretty rough, man. That was like, hey man. Now watch. He missed the first 10 games because they about to get it, man.
Yeah,
they about to get it.
Yeah.
Watch this. Hey, Cole. And you know I got to finish every show with this, man.
Yeah.
What the Cowboys gonna do, man?
The Cowboys this year, I hate to tell you, Kev, I hate to tell all the other fan bases out there, but I think what I saw this morning, and we're going to get into this at 5:20 if you'll stick around at 5:20 and listen. George Pickens has done something that people aren't giving him enough credit for, and you talk about a culture reset in that locker room. What he's doing does not happen in the NFL. And we'll get into it at 5:20, but to answer your question, you mark it down right here on the 17th day of June. They'll be in the NFC Championship.
NFC, you know what? You say mark this down on this day. You say mark it down, but y'all said the same thing for 33 years, and it ain't happened yet, man.
You're right, but I'm telling you, it's going to happen this year. It's in the year. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Just keep on doubting. Man. Keep on doubting. It's okay. Hey, the New York Knicks had to do it too.
Hey, listen, you got a new champion, so it's time for it. If the Dallas Cowboys win it, you'll think it's some of these new kids that's coming along now. They're gonna be like, that's Dallas' first Super Bowl.
Yeah,
we gonna be like, man, I tell you what, you should have seen them.
They will.
I'm gonna tell my kids when they get grown and get older, the Dallas Cowboys used to be the stuff. I don't know what happened. They
been a long time. All right, Kev, enough of that. Thanks for the call. Thanks for the call. Always appreciate you. 844-326-3663.
Hey, this is important to note, Cole. Y'all over there saying like OG's going to miss games. The NBA doesn't test for it anymore, and it is perfectly legal in the state of New York.
Test for what, right? Test for
exactly.
What? That's what OG's saying.
Exactly.
Test for what?
What are you talking about? He's testing product, man. He's going to start an endorsement deal. He's going to start a side business.
No doubt.
You can't sell what you don't test, and you can't sell what you don't love. And obviously, he's loving it. He's testing it.
He is, and we will get to those odds tomorrow. Maybe later in the show today, but maybe tomorrow. We'll get to it eventually.
Love it, Cole. When we come back, the celebration is on in New York, and I love this. Okay, not talking politics at all, but the quote-unquote socialist mayor of New York is doing something that I think is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to tell you what that is on the other side of the break, right here on the Fan Upstate.
Wires to Wire with Cole. Upstate.
Cole, we're just about 12 minutes away from having Melissa Level on the show, marketing director for Ingles. That is, if we can get the smile off of her face. She's always smiling, Cole, but now she's beaming ear to ear because a brand new Tolo walked up to the table. His name is Garrett Notes, and he moved from Detroit to Tampa when he was young. And I just said, you so happen to be standing right here next to a Tampa Bay Buccaneers cheerleader. Melissa, she's just grinning from ear to ear, sharing stories.
What was his name?
Garnot.
Garnot.
Yeah.
What a unique name.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, fascinating. In a small world, So we're sitting here chatting about what the fan Upstate is. He wants us to talk more Tampa Bay Rays. I had to tell him, I was like, brother, this is Braves country. Ooh.
Yeah.
So
we talk Rays. I'm sure we'd get a good response back from that.
It's very true. Hey, Cole, this is funny. A lot of people were going after the new mayor of New York, Zoran Mamdani, when he was elected. They said, oh, he's a socialist. He's going to do all this horrible stuff. Again, I don't want to get into his politics because I don't really know much about his politics. But I'll tell you what, I love this, okay? Coming up in, tomorrow or day after tomorrow is the big New York Ticker Tape Parade celebrating the Knicks championship, first one in 53 years. Mayor Mamdani said, quote, "The Knicks belong to New York City. This championship belongs to the people who have waited 53 years for it." He's putting on a very small 600-person, they call that small, 600-person championship ceremony at City Hall in New York City, and all 600 tickets are going to fans who enter a lottery, and the fans are going to get to go enjoy this special celebration, not just really rich people who can afford to buy the limited number of tickets.
So you broke up on us. We lost you when you were describing. No. You said 600 and then continue, Diesel?
Yeah, so there will be 600 spaces available, so to speak, in this special championship ceremony at City Hall. All 600 of them will go in a lottery to Knicks fans. So you can't just slap down a couple $1,000s and get into this bougie VIP event. No, this is an event for the fans.
I like that. Are they, the City Hall building, do they have insurance on it? Are they going to burn it down? I'm being serious.
No, I think those people are tired now,
People get shot. You would think, but people get shot and there's 60-something crimes committed after an NBA championship. I hope the City Hall building's got good insurance.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be a daytime celebration, so, the freaks only come out at night. So we'll see. Look, I'm sure they'll vet people and wand them and all that kind of stuff. But, hey, I just think it's a great thing that instead of, inviting the Ben Stillers and the Timothy Chalamets and, all these people into the event and letting only the ultra-rich and the celebrities enjoy it, they've made this an event for the people.
Yeah, hopefully they have metal detectors. The parade is tomorrow at 10 a.m., and it's in lower Manhattan along Broad. That's going to be, how much security do they have for that? And it's like going to City Hall. The viewing route's free, open to everyone, no ticket required. It says on the website, crowds will form quickly. Yeah. Think
about it this way, though.
So?
It's New York City. They do parades all the time. And they invite foreign dignitaries and presidents and all these people all the time. So I think the city of New York will have it figured out.
It does say on the website, no bags allowed. And there are pretty much every item is prohibited. Everyone will be screened for the ceremony that you're talking about. So that's a good thing. Yeah. Maybe they can celebrate, the way you're supposed to.
Yeah, I just think it's a lot of fun. So, hey, Tolo's coming up again in just about 8 minutes. Melissa Level, marketing director of Ingles, is going to join the show. Appreciate Garnot, the new Tolo, who stopped by. Hopefully, we'll be able to get him to listen to the show and get him to call into the show and talk about baseball and have a good time. But, big stuff coming up a little bit later on in the show. Again, 4 o'clock, Melissa Level at 4:20. Andrew Rieddell of College Baseball Central. Great guest. He is there on the ground in Omaha. Well, he might be in the press box, actually. He might be calling us from the press box this time.
Yeah.
We'll be talking, of course, the College World Series, what we saw yesterday, what we're seeing today, and a lot of big stuff coming up later on the show as well. Daily Wires at 4:45. Just a loaded show here on this Wednesday.
You mentioned Melissa Level. It's Melissa's moment coming up. Very next segment, Melissa Level. She's been busy today. They had a grand opening of one of the stores that I believe, and we'll have to see if she can correct me if I'm wrong, this store had a little bit of damage back during the hurricane. A grand opening today up in North Carolina. Obviously, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Brendan Sorsby, some news on that with Melissa, and a lot more. Melissa's moment next, right here on the Fan Upstate. of the show. We are rocking. We are rolling on this hump day edition of Wire to Wire. Diesel on location at Ingalls and Greer. And he is joined by the one, the only Melissa Level, marketing director for Ingalls Markets. It is Melissa's moment here on the Fan Upstate. And Melissa, you just told us during the break, number one, we always appreciate you making time for us, especially though on a day like today where you told us you've been up since 4 a.m., even earlier probably than that, because what a special day it was for Ingalls Markets. Tell the Tolos why it was a special day.
Absolutely wonderful day. Our South Fletcher Ingalls flagship store grand opening today. It's been a long time in the making, of course, since it was actually started construction pre-Helene, and so we were just really great, but it is the most incredible store. It has a tap and cork bar, which is all local IPA and wines, mimosas, all sorts of wonderful things. It has a burrito bar. It has a Chipotle bar. It has a popcorn bar, and it has wood fire pizza. In and out. It has a beautiful outside area for eating, and it has a fire pit outside. And just, but the biggest part is it's 98,000 square feet. It's the largest store in our whole area. But when we open up something brand new like that, we want to give back to the community. So also I was able to give today on behalf of Ingalls Manna Food Bank, which is Feeding America, that serves Western North Carolina, a $10,000 check. So that was a lot of fun.
Fantastic. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
The generosity of Ingalls Markets, a little generosity here, $25 Ingalls card for you if you come by and say the word Tolo. My wife is already texting me asking when you guys update the Malden store, could you put a bar in there? Because she wants me to do the grocery shopping.
That's going to be
and she knows that's the only way that I'm going to do it.
Do you know that's going to be an all new store?
I'm excited.
You're right. That's going to be an all new store
I'm
because
excited.
we own that whole shopping center. We have some lease things that have to play out, leases, things, but we own that whole entire shopping center. So that will go.
How much farther can an Ingalls store go? Because you just keep adding more and more and more features. Now, I mean, people are going to be living in an Ingalls at some point.
Yeah, we were thinking about, would be a good wedding venue. This one really would be a good wedding venue. Yeah, I mean, this one, I was thinking I could live here. I mean, even, this is going to sound funny, even the bathroom stalls have they're huge, the stalls themselves. It's like my dorm room was smaller than these. I'm like, what am I going to do? Change my clothes in here? I don't know what it is. Are you going to have a workout room? Maybe we should have a workout room.
Yeah.
Showers? I don't know.
Intake calories and workout calories.
That's right. I know, but I mean.
Dan B on YouTube, Melissa, says, how about a roller coaster in the next store? Let's go. What
That'd
do you
be
think?
fun. See, I'm a big roller coaster gal. I like them. Right, so a lot of people don't love them. I love them. I'll ride the ones that turn you upside down and inside out.
Melissa, can you go into detail that Fletcher store that you guys opened this morning? The process I believe you said it was started before Helene. Did it get damaged at all? Talk about that.
There wasn't damage, but there was all of the crews that were working on it had to be pulled out to go and do other construction for repairs in other areas of Western North Carolina. So we had really hard to get construction crews. We had a long time period, as you know, without water and without power. I think it was something like 16 weeks. And then, of course, we had to open up some of our other stores. So we had to get some stores that were in food deserts that had been completely destroyed in Helene that we had to get opened up. So this one was kind of like, I kind of wanted to put on a billboard, finally, or maybe. I'm not sure which one.
So now, Melissa, you got me thinking about beer. I wish I was drinking a beer right now. But
Right.
Have you seen the stories that Scotland soccer fans have come over and literally drank Boston dry? They're running out of beer.
I know. It's funny. And they're singing Sweet Caroline and all them in the bars. I love it. And Country Roads. I love you seen that show with it. They're just, I love how they're just totally embracing America, which they should, because it's the greatest country anywhere. But I love the one where the Frenchman went to the Waffle House.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was like, he said, this is great cuisine.
I think the one things that the Scots haven't embraced, they said they've restocked the bars with Bud Light, and we're not going to drink that.
Yeah, I do. You would think they'd be kind of ready for that.
You would think.
Yeah, but how do you drink America dry?
Maybe you know the answer to this question here. What town in the Upstate in Western North Carolina drinks the most beer? I don't know the answer to this question. I'm asking you as the marketing
I would have
director.
to think it would be Beer City, which is Asheville. We're Beer City, USA. We
Okay.
have the largest beer, we have the largest privately, IPAs.
Yeah.
And that's where, of course, Sierra Nevada is, all of that. So I would guess that. I don't know that for sure, but
Seems like a solid guess.
you don't get labeled Beer City, USA if you're not like drinking a lot of beer.
Good point. Melissa, I have another little trivia for you.
What?
Let's bring it to sports. As you know, the College World Series is happening right now in Omaha, Nebraska. A
Right.
two-part question for you. Have you been to Omaha before?
No.
Okay, neither have I.
Mhm.
The second part of the question: how many? You're a fan. You're an alum of an ACC program in Florida
Mhm.
State, proud alum.
Right.
How many College World Series? We're talking college baseball.
Right.
How many national championships, Melissa level, does the ACC have in college baseball?
Just baseball or softball too?
Just baseball.
Just baseball. I'm going to guess six.
national titles.
I'm going to guess 6.
The answer might shock you. Are you ready,
None.
Melissa?
Right.
2.
2. They were North Carolina, right? Right? North Carolina?
No.
No?
No. Wake Forest in 1955
Yeah.
and Virginia in 2015.
Wow.
Only
Wow.
2 national championships out of the ACC.
Yeah, and they always do so well too. But I don't.
They're a good conference.
Maybe it's just Omaha. That's a long.
Maybe.
That's a long way away from the ACC.
How do you explain that, right?
I don't.
How do you explain that?
I don't. Baseball has never been the ACC's thing, right? It's always been football or basketball, right? ACC basketball from Western North Carolina, Duke, Carolina, all of those. And then for football, of course, you had Clemson, Florida State. And so we really haven't been baseball colleges. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why.
Melissa,
And by the way, just
Yeah.
for those that don't know, Diesel, the SEC has 14 compared to the ACC's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well-
and they're about to get another one, I guess, right?
well, maybe.
probably.
Wait, North
Maybe.
Carolina. It's probably
Maybe.
it could come down to North Carolina, Georgia
Right.
for the
Mhm.
title.
Yep.
And that will be
Yep.
total HE double toothpicks at my office, considering our director of operations is Georgia and our president is Carolina. So we're going to have
Oh my
fun.
goodness! Oh my goodness! Melissa, what's going on within Ingles stores for the World Cup? Like everybody's getting involved in this. Everybody's got something going on.
Right.
It's a big deal, even though Cole's not into it. What's
I'm not
going
either.
on with Ingles?
I'm not either.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what's going on. It's going on through most of our vendors.
Okay.
Some of our national vendors like Nabisco, Pepsi, and all of them are offering special products for World Cup. And of course, we're carrying all of those and offering those at special prices. But a really cool thing that's going on, you'll see it the week of 4th of July. It's America's 250th anniversary. You will be surprised how many things are $2.50.
And have you heard there's a slight chance, it would take a lot to make this happen, but there is a slight chance that England and the U.S. could face off against one another in the World Cup on the 4th of July on the 250th.
Yeah, that would be like the next Revolutionary War.
I mean, like, we know that FIFA is a corrupt organization.
Right.
Who do we have to bribe to make that happen?
Yeah,
'Cause
I
it's
think we have,
poetry.
but don't we have to go through Iran first, though?
I'm
think
not
we have to play
sure.
around, don't we?
Yeah, I'm not sure who,
Because I
who's in
thought
the
that
way.
would be interesting too. But yeah, wouldn't that would be so cool?
Well-
it would be like the remake of the war.
Well, the Iran fans are fighting in the stands. Whoever they played in SoFi Stadium, or they don't call it SoFi LA Stadium,
Right.
they had a big brawl erupt between Iran fans and whoever they played. Yeah.
Well, isn't that sort of typical with soccer, though?
Yeah, they're hooligans. That's
Right.
why they call them hooligans.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess that's why I'm not into it, because I'm afraid to go to a game because I might get trampled. Because don't they get a lot of people get trampled, right? They get because they all rush
that's
to it.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's a big deal.
I know soccer is a big sport, and we support a lot of local soccer programs, for high school and youth soccer. So I know it's a really big sport. I just don't know why I haven't ever really, and I love sports. I just have never really gotten into it. We used to have a soccer team in Tampa called the Rowdies, right? They were and they were very, very good. They were a professional soccer team. Yeah, I can still remember the song, but I'm not going to sing it.
Oh,
I'm
why
the
not?
same way, Melissa.
Right.
I'm the same way. I think it has a lot to do if you don't grow up with it. And I equated. I told a buddy of mine the other day. It's like, for example, they say the best coffee shop in the world is in Norway.
Right.
If I am somebody who despises coffee, and I just despise it, if I go to the best coffee shop in the world in Norway, it doesn't matter if it's the best coffee shop. I'm not drinking it. I don't
Yeah.
like coffee.
Exactly.
It's the same way with me in the World Cup. I don't care if it's the World Cup a small cup, a red Solo cup. I don't care. I mean, soccer
listen,
just doesn't have my interest.
I've got to go back to what you said at the beginning. You don't like coffee?
I have to have it all like dolled up and like the
you have to have frou-frou coffee.
Yes.
Look at Jay over here with his venti.
Does Jay have a frou-frou?
Yeah, he does. How many
Shout out to Jay.
how many modifiers are on that label, Jay?
He has
Brown sugar, oat milk, and espresso.
Jay has
Wow.
the Waffle House
Yes.
of coffee. Is it smothered, covered?
Yes.
Yes. That's the
See,
best.
I drink 6 cups of coffee a day, straight black,
Oh, black?
All before 8 a.m. believe it
all
or
day
not.
long,
All day.
all
You
day
drink
long,
it black, Melissa?
all straight black. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
That's how you get the
I just can't do
maximum. Yeah, that's
Right.
how you get the maximum caffeine
Yep.
intake.
And I'll be drinking a few more on the way home today since I've been up so early.
No doubt.
That's right.
Melissa, what have you thought about this whole Brendan Sorsby situation? I look at it now at this point, it almost feels like Texas Tech used him as a pawn.
Right.
Like they were trying to hijack and change college football and say that, hey, we can get billionaire donors to team up with politicians and we can run roughshod over this league.
Right.
And Brendan Sorsby finally just said, I'm out. I'm done. I don't
Right.
want to do this. He's going to go enter the supplemental
Right.
draft. Now that could be its own problem right there
Right.
because
Well,
what
nobody
kind
was
of
going to
team
play him.
what kind of team wants a known gambler on their
Yeah.
team?
And no one was going to play them.
Right.
Okay. But the problem with it, it's not just him. Okay. You remember you and I talked about this weeks ago, and you said, don't give him any ideas. I said, the people that aren't making any money in the locker room are going to do that. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So, but now they've just been given a free pass if the college has enough money.
Mhm.
Right. But I am very encouraged by a number of schools that said, if they come up on our schedule, we're not going to play them. So there wasn't going to be any way to do it, but it started a ball, and I think that they need to nip that in the bud right away.
What do we think, Diesel and Melissa, and Diesel, you and I hadn't talked about this a ton. What do we think the reason in what do we think went through his head? And I know we're going to get into this later in the show, Diesel, coming up at 5, but what do we think went through his head to make him make that decision about the NFL?
Arrogance, entitlement, maybe a little bit of ignorance, maybe not really understanding the rules. I mean, these people are getting a lot of money early in their life that they don't know how to do to manage it.
Yeah, I think from the university perspective, from Texas Tech's perspective, it was just this thought that we can game the system, right? And in some small way, not kicking him off the team and not sending him off to the wolves to go
To
fall
jail.
into a gutter and be a gambling addict.
To jail.
There is some positivity in that, but to not take the hardline stance that this is a rule you don't cross.
Right.
There's a line you don't cross, and to not say, look, we'll get him all the help he needs, but
Right.
he's not playing
They're
football
not playing
for us.
football. And that would have been what a Lou Holtz or a Saban or somebody would do. Coaching is different now.
Yeah.
It's managing a business. It's all about the bottom line and how much money you can bring in for the next player to come in. And if you have enough judges and you have enough corporations and you've invested that much money, you're not going to put this guy in the toilet, okay? You're going to try to get around it so he can at least be a return on your investment.
Does it surprise you, though, that seemingly in all these cases, I'm talking about the Trinidad Chambliss case and some of the others, they always seem to go find a local official, a judge or whoever it is, that always happens to be an alum of the
Right.
school and will do what's best for that school
Right.
to win. And look, maybe they're following the letter of the law in the right way, but it just seems fishy when it's always an
Right.
alum or a fan
It does
making
seem
these
fishy. That's
decisions.
what people, even if it's not, people look at it that way, and it takes away from the credibility of the game and the fact who's to believe now that things are what they are on the field. Okay.
Yep.
Now, first of all, now it's a big business. Now you could be throwing games, you could be doing things. I mean, but we just had last year NBA coaches and players be indicted for gambling and
Yeah.
doing this, and I think it's illegal. Right?
Yeah,
And
he was being investigated by law enforcement.
Right.
This
And
wasn't just a rule break. This
Right.
was illegal,
Right.
illegalities.
Now, Jameis Winston stole some crabs, okay? But, I mean, and he got punished more than this guy did seriously. Peter Warwick had the Dillard's cards and the gift cards. He got punished more than this guy.
Hey.
I'm going to tell you, then you label you the Florida State criminals, right?
Hey, South Carolina was sanctioned for writing a kid's name on a cookie cake, which you
Right.
could get right over there in the bakery.
Right. And how about the guy from Central Florida that lost his scholarship altogether because he had a podcast with some sponsors. I mean, this guy got away with it because they had invested a lot of money in him, and they wanted a return on their investment. That's it.
Melissa, want to get your thoughts on something that just came up earlier this week with a local university, and I wonder if we're going to start seeing more and more of this. You know, in colleges or college athletics now, Melissa, it's all about how you can bring money in different ways. Clemson Ventures announced Monday a new enhanced tailgate experience for Clemson football game days known as the Stacks.
Right,
and,
where those
that
used to be the smokestacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's right. It's a new tailgating space. Basically, it's a VIP type tailgating space.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of these Clemson fans, I don't know if you've seen the response online.
Right.
Clemson fans are just up in arms. And I don't know why. If you want to compete and you want to have more money, I mean, is it just because it's the simple fact of the matter that Clemson fans some of these fans don't want change?
Well,
and you pay for your parking spot, you know.
There's 17,000 what you would consider elite tailgating spots at Clemson. Okay, the average spend is $152 per week, per game for each of those 17,000. That's way over $2 million in money every week coming.
That's 2.5.
Businesses are getting from that. Number one being ABC, Sam's Club. You have a lot of Chick-fil-A, private catering. Some of these are very, very elite. I think what's happened is they've established their area there. Now they're being told that they're going to, in order to be in that elite level, they're going to have to take another step. Okay, we're already changing college football. I don't think it's the tailgating. I think it's the fact that it's all the other stuff going around with it, and you're asking more from us in order for you to ruin the game.
Melissa, we love you. You're absolutely right, and it also feels like the average fan feels more and more and more like they're priced out of something that some have invested generations of their family into, their entire lives into, and then you say, well, if I'm not able to put that kind of money as a fan into my experience, my school doesn't want me.
That doesn't want
and
you.
It's a spot where I think schools have to be really careful, only catering to the richest of the rich.
Right.
I mean, in South Carolina, they did this offseason. It's currently under construction, taking out seats that people had lifetime leases
That's
on
right.
in order to put in big money private suites. Private suites.
It's like if you did that to the Green Bay Packers, who will those things. They own it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If you did that same, it's the same kind of thing in the NFL. It is very, very disheartening to the fan who has given so much. If you look back at what those Clemson fans have spent over maybe the last 10 years, it is incredible. Okay. So they're spending the money to have the experience. And then, of course, they're doing it there. So not only are they spending the money to have the spot, but they're spending $152 a week times 17,000. You would think that they could find a way to keep the fan happy.
You know what that makes me want to do? It makes me want to tailgate in the Ingles parking lot near Clemson and Uber into the stadium. Because everything I need is right here at Ingles.
Or you could just stay at Ingles.
There you go. Come on. Hey, you're putting in all these. Yeah, you're putting in all this stuff. Why not put in a big old tailgate area?
We got a sports bar now.
Yeah, now she's getting it.
That's great.
Melissa,
you're the best.
Thank you.
We love you. We love having you here every single week.
I'm so glad to see you in person today.
I know. Next time we'll get the whole band back together.
Yay,
How about
that's
that?
Great.
We'll all be here. We'll all be here. When we come back, Cole, it is time to talk baseball again, college baseball with Andrew Rieddell of College Baseball Central. He is there in Omaha. He's been watching all the games, analyzing everything, and we'll be able to pick his brain on that next.
Clear, but coming back to you for play safe.
Mm-hmm.
Mike's hot in 3, 2, 1.
Well, the Mountaineers of West Virginia getting a little taste of their own medicine, Cole. They beat Troy 12-0 yesterday, and now they are getting beat 12-1 today by the North Carolina Tar Heels, bottom of the 7th. The Heels could keep pouring it on to talk college baseball. We go to our guy, our guest, Andrew Rieddell of College Baseball Central. He is there on location. Andrew, appreciate you joining the show. Obviously, you being there in the building, you weren't seeing the same things that those of us who were watching on TV were. It was odd that West Virginia fans, they all filed out, presumably to go to Rocco's and go to the bar, but they kept showing the Troy fans dejected and beat down and feeling terrible about their teams. I thought that was a little unkind, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I've been around some West Virginia fans this week, and they have been a little unruly. You can tell that they've been spending a lot of their time watching, not even watching the games, but a lot of the time at Rocco's, because I feel like their College World Series championship is winning the Rocco's Cello Shot Championship. So, I mean, good for them on winning that title if they're still in the lead. I haven't really been paying attention to that. But, I mean, yeah, I mean, I dealt with LSU fans, I dealt with Arkansas fans, but West Virginia fans, they are a different breed here in Omaha this year.
Andrew, appreciate you taking the time, and we really mean this. Appreciate you taking the time away from your coverage in Omaha. I assume you're in the press box right now. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me on.
Absolutely.
It's always a great time talking with you guys. But yeah, I'm here in the press box. I found a little quiet area, but yeah, I mean, this is actually a perfect time. As is that ball getting? It looks like West Virginia's getting a run here. It's 12-2 now on a Gavin Kelly triple.
Well, they've got a lot of scoring to do and a long way to go, if you will, in a short time to get there. Andrew, let me ask you this: you've watched this tournament in Omaha. We're just now seeing that triple on our TV here in South Carolina, but you're there. You're at the College World Series, Andrew. You're a writer for College Baseball Central. You do an incredible job. I want to know, though, have you been more impressed with anybody in this Omaha tournament more than Caden Glover, who, by the way, went to Catawba Ridge High School right here in South Carolina kid, another one that got out of the state and went up north to Chapel Hill. Have you been impressed with anybody in Omaha more than this guy? And if so, that's okay. Who has impressed you? Because just me watching at home, Caden Glover, he's remarkable, and he's so fun to watch, given the fact that he's supposed to still be in high school right now.
Yeah, you just hit on it right there, and Scott Ford hit on it every time he's spoken to his pressers about Caden. This kid should still be in high school. This kid should be walking the stage of graduation. I don't know when graduation is in North Carolina, but he should be walking the stage for graduation. But here he is. He's pitching on the biggest stage of the year. And let me take you back to Sunday, when they beat West Virginia and they turn to Caden, and he just goes out there and dominates. Strikes out the two hitters he faces, and to strike out Gavin Kelly, arguably one of the best players in Omaha, he dials up 97, 97, 97, and he just swings right through all three of those pitches. I mean, I've been impressed with Globler, of course, but I mean, you got to be impressed with a bunch of Oklahoma players. Adrian Rodriguez, I know Texas was eliminated last night. The way he's been playing has been phenomenal. But let me talk about someone in the game actually right now.
Okay.
Owen Hull. Owen Hull. He is, I believe he's 4 for 5 now, as he got out in last time. But he's a home run shy of the cycle. I don't know if they talked about that on the TV or you guys picked up on that. I don't know if he'll hit again, but he has the possibility of hitting the second cycle in the NCAA College World Series, and that will be the first time that has ever happened. Wow. Here in Omaha with 2 cycles in just a matter of days. So Owen Hull's been probably the best hitter I've seen here so far, and that just shows how good this North Carolina team is. I was watching the Pat McAfee show before this game started, and he said it best. He said that this North Carolina team is almost virtually like they're playing like a Major League Baseball team right now. They're all playing like professionals. They're all handling themselves like professionals, and I don't really see any weaknesses in this North Carolina team right now.
Andrew, talk about the pitching that you saw last night in that Texas-Georgia game. 2 teams that are obviously used to putting up a lot of runs, 2 teams that are used to hitting the long ball, but the pitching for both teams was just truly masterful. I mean, Georgia's pitching was just a little bit better. What was it about what they were throwing and the movement that they had that was just, shutting each other down?
Well, so the wind played a big factor in that. The wind was blowing in, I think 20 miles per hour blowing in yesterday, and the wind today is blowing directly out. So that's helped see today. But with Georgia, Justin Bird throwing in relief last night. He got ahead, I believe, 11 of the 12 batters he faced, or it was probably more. I think it was 12 or 15 first pitch strikes. First pitch strikes are huge in the college World Series. If you're falling behind in hitter count and having to serve up something, especially in these day games where the wind has been blowing out, you can't be falling behind against some of the best hitters in the country. I mean, and even Luke Harrison for Texas, his final outing of his college career is his best outing of his college career. And when I talked to Max Wiener on Thursday, he told me that he's on his Mount Rushmore of pitchers he's ever coached and players that he's ever been around. That's how much he meant to this Texas program, and obviously saved his best outing for his last career game. He was up to 96 in the first inning and just absolutely dominating the Georgia hitters. Obviously, Texas made a few mistakes that, I don't even think with those mistakes they win that game, because that's how good the Georgia pitching has stepped up so far in Omaha. Obviously, with Joey Pacheco, Kei Naoki. They're the first pair, Joey Pacheco and Kei Naoki are the first pair of pitchers to throw back-to-back complete games since 2004, when Cal State Fullerton did it. So, I've been very impressed with the pitching that Georgia has been throwing out there. And Max Wiener with Texas, this pitching philosophy is to dominate the zone. If we're gonna throw strikes, or if we're gonna get hit, we're gonna at least be throwing it in the zone. We're not gonna be trying to be coy about it. We're not gonna be trying to work around people. No, we're gonna be throwing our best stuff right at you.
We're talking to Andrew Rieddell, College Baseball Central. If you just tuned in, Tolos, he is live in Omaha, Nebraska at Charles Schwab Field in the press box with the coverage. And you can follow him on Twitter. We'll let you know where you can do that by the end of the interview. Andrew, right now, North Carolina leading West Virginia 12-3, bottom of the seventh. This one, barring something catastrophic, is pretty much over. Tonight, 7 o'clock, Georgia, Oklahoma. Tell me if you agree, disagree, or land somewhere in the middle. I don't think Oklahoma has a chance. Do you?
I agree. I think that Georgia is going to out-hit them tonight. And I think Oklahoma they keep on relying on all these freshmen. And at some point, the big bright lights are going to get to these freshmen, and they're just not going to perform as well. So I got Georgia tonight. Georgia's going Paul Farley, and Oklahoma's throwing another freshman lefty. I forgot his name. It's a pretty hard name to pronounce, if I remember. But I just think Georgia, they're going to get this offensive production going at some point. They can't be winning games 5-1, 2-0, or losing games 4-3. And I think Wes Johnson and his coaching staff, it's going to be like a battle of the minds. It's going to be two coaches playing chess and checkers. We saw it last night with Schwarzenegger and Wes Johnson taking meeting after meeting, trying to slow down the game and try and slow down the pitchers. But I think that Wes Johnson and this Bulldog team, they're going to find a way in the College World Series final.
So a question for you, Andrew, is do you expect Wes and Skip Johnson, the respective coaches for Oklahoma and for Georgia, what you were saying about getting ahead of the pitching count and the wind blowing out tonight compared to blowing in last night, is that something that they strategize into the way they're having their pitchers pitch? Are they kind of letting them be more aggressive in kind of painting the edges when the ball's coming in, or when the wind's coming in versus going out?
Yeah, I've talked to a few coaches on the Georgia staff, especially their assistant pitching coach, Drew Finley, where they said, look, this ballpark, it plays to our advantages and it's going to play to our disadvantages. We can't let that affect us. We got to play our style of baseball, and we got to do what we do best, and that's attack the strike zone. We're not gonna be trying to do anything fancy. We just got to be doing what we do best.
talking to Andrew Rieddell. Hey, Andrew, let me ask you this. When you look at that final, if it is North Carolina and Georgia, do you think there's anything to be said about who would have the better rest to line up the pitching the way they want it to line up? Because the final is Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Who do you like going into the break, if you will? Like if one of those two teams can have one extra day to get a certain pitcher, obviously the pitching matchups are important, or do you not really think that's that big of a deal?
Well, I think it's going to be a very big deal because if UNC holds up to this lead, it's 12-4 now, I believe. If UNC's going to win this game, I'm not going to try and jinx anything, but UNC's going to win this game. They're going to be able to throw Jason DeCaro and Ryan Lynch game 1, game 2. I think Georgia wins tonight. They're going to throw Joey Kolchak tomorrow, and Oklahoma will probably counter with Ford Rager. So those are both teams number one. And I've been joking with my boss saying, "Oh, we might have to hype this up to be as not to be as high as Brett Lauder versus Paul Skeens was in 2023, but I think it's going to somewhat get that attention because these are two number one frontline starters that are dominating the College World Series right now. So I think North Carolina's going to be in the driver's seat with the pitching advantage, but I mean obviously Georgia's 2-3 with Caden Ioki and Dylan Beek. Or Big U, I think they're going to be fine as well. But obviously, Wes Johnson could also try and pull something quick and have those guys be ready tonight and tomorrow as well, because you have to get to that best of 3 series.
Andrew, just out of curiosity, is there anything that you have seen in this year's tournament that you've never seen before? You know, baseball is a game of repetition, and you see a lot of the same routine plays made again and again. But then, you know, a home run will bounce off of a guy's glove, bounce off his head, and go over the wall. Is there anything you've seen this year that is like, oh, that's a first?
I mean, for me, it's the Darren Pendergrass no catch call last night in center field, where it looked like he went through the process of the catch, but the ball pops out. And a lot of us were joking here in the press box saying, oh, is this college football? Is this NFL? That we don't know what a catch is? And Jim Schlossman will have 3 challenges in 1 inning. He joked with us last night in the post-game conference saying, I don't know how I got three challenges, but you got to ask the umpire about that. So, yeah, those are 2 things that I haven't seen before. But, again, some of the umpiring here hasn't been the greatest. Some of these strike zones have not been the greatest. But, yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of wacky stuff here so far, including a cycle with that Adrian Rodriguez cycle. And you never know. It's 12-5 now, I believe.
12-5, yeah. They're coming back.
12-5. So you never know. I might be seeing a 12-1 blown lead now.
Oh.
And I don't know how bad that would be. That might be up there with 20. That'd be up there with 20-3, and the Spurs blowing a 40-point lead the other day.
Yeah, I felt like it. Hey,
yeah,
Andrew, let's get to the important stuff. For those that are in the press box covering the College World Series as you are, what is the food situation? Is the menu, is it top tier? I mean, talk us through it. That's what matters.
Yeah, that's the stuff that matters. Obviously, the big talk is the addition of Fresca to the Coca-Cola cooler this year. They added Fresca, and I tried that the other day, and it's actually pretty good. 0 calories, it's pretty good. And actually, speaking of the devil, Caden Globler is coming into the game. It's a 12-5 game that's turning to their. That is that something? Does that
hurt him later on, or no? It just depends. I mean, do you have to throw him right now?
I mean, to stop the bleeding right now. Yeah.
Wow.
But I think they only do it just to get this out, and they'll turn to someone else for the 8th and 9th if they're able to add more run support. But it's a very interesting move. Scott Forbes is not taking any risk here. But back to the food situation. For the most part, it's been okay. They'll have some interesting things like Philly cheesesteaks, where you look at the food and you're like, okay, no, I think I'm just going to go get chicken tenders and pizza for the night. They've had meatball parm. They've had chicken sandwiches.
Wow.
They've had I think tonight's a taco bar. So, so it's okay. It's better than some of the press boxes that I've been in years past. LSU just has a hot dog roller for what it's worth, and I don't know how long those hot dogs have been sitting there, but LSU has a hot dog roller. Florida is one of the better ones that I've dealt with. They cater to, so depending on the day, they'll have Chick-fil-A, barbecue. So they're not catering food, but the staff here at Charles Schwab is working very hard. When we walk into the press box, you got to go through the concourse and all that stuff, and you just see them hard at work.
You know, Andrew, being from the state of North Carolina myself, I have no love lost for the Tar Heels, but I'm shocked that the Heels didn't bring cases upon cases of cheer wine to the press box. That's something the locals here in South Carolina and North Carolina know very, very well. We got to get you on some cheer wine, my friend. It is like it's like a cherry Coke, but way more cherry than there is Coke. And it's a North and South Carolina staple. Have you ever had that before?
No, I have not. But I think that's going to be added to my bucket list whenever I get up to a South Carolina game or a North Carolina game up here in the future.
Well, when you do, let us know, because you've been gracious enough to join us here a few weeks in a row talking college baseball in the postseason, Andrew. Great stuff as always. We'll let you get back to work, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Absolutely. Andrew Rieddell, College Baseball Central. Again, he came to us live from the press box in Omaha, Nebraska at the College World Series. So, Diesel, have you ever had Fresca?
I think I have. I mean, if I have, I'm aware of it. I'm sure I've had it. But it's one of those things, it's not memorable. You know, you have a cheer wine, you know you've had a cheer wine.
Yeah, well, soda water, I mean, like, you either hate it or lie. I hate soda water. It's terrible. And Fresca, to me, it's a kind of like that grapefruit citrus taste. It's not good to me. But you're right. Cheer wine, I feel, I love cheer wine, but I don't know why. I feel like I'm going to have like a heart attack after I do. It just doesn't taste healthy. You know what I mean? Like,
well, no, it's not healthy.
Wine, you're like, I'm not. I mean, you might die in the next 3 or 4 minutes, but I mean, it's still really good.
No, it's not healthy. I mean, anything that is made as a soda, Cole, that then gets distilled down into a barbecue sauce is not good for you, but it's delicious. You know, what a way to go. We all got to go somehow. Cheer wine is the way to go.
Yeah. No doubt.
I had a guy just walk right past me and look at me like, what is he saying?
Yeah, what are these guys talking? Is this a sports show? What are these guys talking about? We've got to get to our headlines, our daily wires. What's happening in the sports world? We'll get to them next. a lot to get to, Diesel, on the show today in this segment we call our Daily Wires.
Bzzz.
It's the buzz happening. And by the way, Tolo's Diesel at Ingalls and Greer, do you still have that $25 gift card or no?
I still do. I had to wrestle it away from somebody so that I could save it for the next person. So the next person that comes in and says the word Tolo to me grabs this $25 gift card. Think about that. That is dinner. That is dinner for the family from the deli. You grab a couple of sub sandwiches, pizzas, all kinds of stuff. You get a whole rotisserie chicken or fried chicken too.
Absolutely love it. Go see Diesel at Ingalls over in Greer. And what's the name of the road? What road is it, Diesel?
Locust Hill Road.
Locust Hill Road?
That's
Got
it. 1524 Locust Hill Road.
Well, the Giants led the Braves 3-2 when the game in Atlanta was suspended due to rain on Tuesday and had to be resumed. And the Giants went on to defeat the Braves today 7-2. The Braves continue in their losing ways. They're still 46-26 on the season. And they have game 2 tonight, the original scheduled game, 7:15 p.m., a short break as J.R. Ritchie, the young gun, on the mound. Let's see if the Bravos can get this thing back right. It is, they're just in a little bit of a rut right now. We'll see if they can get it back on track tonight. Yesterday in Omaha, Nebraska, Georgia defeated Texas 2-0, and West Virginia defeated Troy 12-0. Diesel, the seasons for Texas and Troy have come to an end.
Yeah,
That's all,
it could come to an end for West Virginia, but they are mounting a big-time comeback. They were down 12-1. Now they're down 12-6. Runners on first and second with 2 outs.
Yeah, and there you have it. There's the third out. Caden Glover, the South Carolina in-state product from Catawba Ridge High School, gets that third out. And North Carolina, my goodness, they get out of that inning, and it's 12-6 now, going into the top of the 8th inning. We'll see if that holds. Next on the Daily Wires. Did you hear about the UFC event, Diesel, that had a terror plot involved with drones, and it was aimed at members of U.S. Congress who attended Sunday's UFC event? Did you hear about this?
I had heard that the FBI did a great job thwarting a couple of plots, but I had not heard the details yet.
Yeah. Look, the whole story's out there. You can go read it. It's an awful thing to read and hear that something like that was planned. Thank God the FBI caught it, because you talk about, I don't even know the right word. I don't think there's a right word.
Horrific.
Catastrophic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would be just so bad. So thank God nothing happened, Diesel, but a little bit of a scare there in the fight on Sunday night in Washington, D.C. The Denver Broncos excused outside linebacker Jonathan Cooper from their mandatory minicamp this week after he was arrested twice in a 7-day span on multiple domestic violence charges, including 1 felony. He's taken his time, obviously. He's got to work on himself, said Broncos coach Sean Payton after Tuesday's practice. Speaking of charges, boxer Floyd Mayweather facing 2 felony charges, Diesel, alleging theft and intent to defraud by passing a bad check to purchase a $200,000 watch in Las Vegas, according to Nevada court records. Mayweather was not present for a Clark County court hearing Monday and was instead represented by his counsel. Mayweather's official charges are theft, value $100,000 or greater, and draw or pass check with intent to defraud, value $1,200 or greater. When's the last time you purchased a $200,000 watch, Diesel?
When was the last time I used a check? I mean, how is it that a store will even allow you to write a check for that amount?
That's a good question.
It's wild. But I just Googled Floyd Mayweather's net worth, and according to Google, he's worth between $400 and $500 million. So you would think that a $200,000 check, that's just pennies, man. That would clear.
I get it if you're worth that much, but still, man, like, I would hope if I were ever worth that much money, I would not feel the need to go out and spend $200,000 on a watch. $200,000 on a watch?
I mean, Cole, let's be real. By that point, you'd have like 8 bass boats, and you'd have to figure out what else to do with your money. So why not a watch?
Well, that's different. I don't need I don't need a watch. I got bass boats, right?
That's right.
Let's see here in New York, Diesel. let's check in some ratings here. The New York Knicks 94-90 victory over the San Antonio Spurs on Saturday night to capture their first NBA title in 53 years, averaged 24.5 million viewers on ABC and ESPN, making it the most watched Game 5 since 1998.
Whoa.
The audience peaked at 33 million. Finals MVP Jalen Brunson was putting the Raps on a 45-point performance as the Knicks rallied from a 10-point deficit in the fourth quarter. Overall, the finals averaged 20.6 million, according to Nielsen, the highest since the 1998 series between the Bulls and the Jazz when Michael Jordan won his sixth finals title. This year's ratings were also the highest since ABC and ESPN started carrying the NBA Finals. These aren't just a bump. These numbers are massive, Diesel.
Yeah, they are massive, and they're only I think they're only amplified by the numbers of the Stanley Cup Finals, which you're going to give here in just a second, Cole. It just shows you, as big as hockey seems to be, and I'm not calling it enormous, but hockey, but the NBA and especially the NFL absolutely dwarf it.
That is unbelievable numbers. I would never have guessed it. It trounced Cavs. I mean, that's unbelievable. Speaking of hockey, the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs were the most watched playoffs ever with an average viewership of 2.2 million. Stanley Cup Finals Game 6 was viewed by a peak audience of 7.2 million, an average of 5.9 million. Still breaking records. How about that?
I mean, think about that. Highest, most viewed Game 6 ever, 5.9 million average versus what was the 24.5 million for the NBA.
That's wild, isn't it?
Huge, yeah.
That is wild. How about Messi last night? Last Daily Wire for you. Messi made history by tying Miroslav Klose's record, hope I pronounced that right, for most men's World Cup goals at 16 after scoring a hat trick to lead Argentina to a 3-0 win. The hat trick was the 11th of Messi's international career, but first at the World Cup. At 38, he became the oldest player to score 3 goals in a game at the tournament. You talk about GOAT, you talk about greatest of all time. He has 16 career goals now at the FIFA World Cup, Diesel, which is just remarkable.
Incredible. 3 goals in one game. Look, I feel like, Cole, they should have to come up with a new word for it, though. Like hat trick, that's the hockey thing. They should come up with a new word for it in soccer, right? I mean, they call it in bowling, they call it a turkey when you roll 3 strikes in a row. In hockey, they call it a hat trick. They should call it something else in soccer, I think.
Wonder who had. We'll have to look up, see who had it first, soccer or hockey. Who stole it from who?
That's a very good question. Cole, let's get into something we touched on earlier. We talked about it with Melissa Level just about an hour ago, not quite an hour ago here on these airwaves. Brendan Sorsby, what next? The saga is over. What next for Brendan Sorsby? What teams might be interested in his services? And we'll just say, should teams be interested in his services? We'll get into that next.
Clear.
Well, the West Virginia Mountaineers, Cole, are down to their final 6 outs, and they're 6 runs back in a 12-6 ball game in Omaha. Going into the bottom of the 8th, North Carolina was trying to tack on some insurance runs. They sent Gavin Gallagher from first to second to try to steal, but West Virginia's catcher Matthew Graveline gunned him down in a play that was originally called safe. They went back and reviewed it, and they called him out. So the threat for the Tar Heels was ended. And look, we got ourselves a ball game there in Omaha. 1 out now in the bottom of the 8th for the Mountaineers. Looks like they're grounding in to a second out single, second out of the inning to shortstop there. So, the Tar Heels maybe, got a little bit of a scare. Maybe that wakes them up. And, they finish out this game in style and move on. But the West Virginia Mountaineers would have to beat them twice if they wanted to try to advance into the championship series. But a good ball game over there.
You can afford it when you score 12 runs. When you score 12 runs, you can afford to let them come back a little bit. And I think what you have to do, Diesel, is you have to trust that your pitching is good enough. They brought in Caden Glover. He put it into it. And, West Virginia probably won't score again, I don't think. In North Carolina, man, like we talked about their pitching for the last 2 weeks, but my Lord, Diesel, when you score 12 runs, you're going to win. You're going to win a lot of baseball games in college baseball, right?
Yeah, I haven't spent a lot of time watching Caden Glover pitch, but, man, he threw a masterful outside slider that started outside of the zone on a lefty hitter and just barely worked its way onto the plate, froze the hitter. And, man, that was a thing of beauty, a really good-looking pitch. Didn't have a ton of speed on it. I mean, it was only like an 83, 84-mile-an-hour pitch, but it had a good amount of movement on it. And the North Carolina Tar Heels look poised to maybe move on. We'll see again if the Mountaineers can rally here down late. But, Cole, let's talk about what the next steps are for a guy like Brendan Sorsby, right? He had made the decision, or it was made for him. Don't exactly know which. Maybe we'll never know exactly which. But he makes a decision to go ahead and forego his season at Texas Tech and enter the NFL's supplemental draft. The question is, for a league that seems to be very good at sweeping things under the rug, not paying attention to a lot of sometimes very serious issues, is this an issue, Cole, that will keep him off of rosters? Is anyone going to be willing to take that gamble, for lack of a better word, on a guy like Brendan Sorsby, who is a known gambler?
It's a good question. I'm pulling up the audio for us to play it on the air, Diesel. I really lean on people who have played the game at the highest level and coached the game at the highest level. This morning on Get Up, they were talking about Damian Woody and Greenberg and a few others were talking about this. And from an NFL player's perspective, Diesel, what I found most interesting, and you and I obviously have an opinion, and Artolo's out there have an opinion as well at 844-326-3663, but when you've played the game, when you've been in an NFL locker room, Diesel, I find it most intriguing how those people that have been in those locker rooms react to what he did in college, breaking the rule that the NCAA clearly said, admitting that he broke the rule, and you said it. The NFL swept plenty of things under the rug, right? And there have been much more egregious acts committed by people in the NFL. Doesn't make it wrong, doesn't make it right, but I just think it's going to come down to which. To answer your question, it depends on the organization. Some organizations might not want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Others might not care. You take the New York Jets, for example, or another organization that could use a quarterback. Their need, Diesel, might outweigh what happened, is what I'm getting at, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, there are articles now all over the place on what teams might be interested in his services. And, hey, there's 8 teams out there, according to, depending on where you read, of teams that would be willing or should be willing to take a look at Brendan Sorsby. Now, he's going to have to be claimed in the supplemental draft. And, again, I don't claim to know all the rules on how the supplemental draft works, but my understanding is the teams basically have to bid on this player.
Yeah.
They tell you where they would draft him,
Pretty much.
if like what kind of draft grade they would give him, and then the team that gives him the highest draft grade, I guess, gets first right of refusal on taking him, which is, let's be real, that's a convoluted ass backwards way of picking up a player after the season. Here's where we would take this guy if we were going to take him, but we don't have, it's just an odd way of doing it. But that's the way they do it. The Arizona Cardinals are looking at a team that maybe might make that move for a guy like him, put him on the depth chart. Kyler Murray's gone, right? So they're going to have to kind of fill in some gaps behind their starter going into next season. I've seen people look at even the Carolina Panthers, mentioning the Carolina Panthers as a team. I don't see it. I mean, that quarterback room is filled. Bryce Young, Will Grier, Kenny Pickett, Haynes King. I think the world of Haynes King. I think he is a fine caliber backup. I don't think there's any reason whatsoever to go after a guy like Brendan Sorsby, even if he would have been, looked at as a first-round guy next year.
Let me ask you this, though, before we get to the phone lines and before we get to this audio from Damian Woody and Lewis Riddick. Do you agree or disagree that, unfortunately, this is just the way it is? It's all going to come down to, answer your original question, Diesel, it's all going to come down to which team has the quarterback needs. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think most people do. Most people would agree that if a team needs a quarterback, they'll overlook it. They don't care. Now, the interesting aspect of it is, how does the locker room handle that? Again, there have been other things happen. I'm not going to say much worse or much better, whatever. There have been other things happen. And NFL locker rooms, we've seen, Diesel, they are fragile. Even though they're professional athletes, even though they're getting paid millions, you go look at Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. NFL locker rooms are still very fragile. So I'm most interested from the player perspective on how players will, I don't want to say look down on him, but how they will view Brendan Sorsby coming into the NFL, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you got to – it's always a challenge. Sometimes you got to separate the art from the artist, and you got to understand that, these athletes are human beings. They make mistakes. They make decisions that other people aren't going to agree with, and sometimes they do things like, will a wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns really care that Brendan Sorsby bet on himself when he was at Indiana? I mean, right. This is something that the college football fandom world, we have all said, we've all collectively decided that this is, an unforgivable sin. And it should be. It should be looked at it like that. But you're right. Will players care? Will the guy that's will the guy that's catching the football care? All he cares about is, are you going to put it on the number? Am I going to be able to catch it and get yards after the catch? That's all he should care about.
No, and you're right. We'll get to the audio from Damian Woody in a second. Let's go to the phone lines, 844-326-3663. Tom in Somerville wants to weigh in. What's up, Tom?
Hey, guys. I was thinking about, Paul, Dallas Cowboys have an opportunity here to take Sorsby in the supplemental draft, and then when y'all finally get ready to get rid of Jack, whenever that day comes, you'll have Sorsby, and he can take you to the promised land.
Oh, my God.
It's a match made in heaven.
Why would we want to get rid of Dak, Tom?
Well, you Cowboys, y'all get tired of the same people not winning championships. So maybe when Dak gets hurt again, which he has a resume of showing that he will get hurt again, you got Sorsby there on the bench. You can put him in, and you might win a Super Bowl. Who knows? But, Sorsby's not the only quarterback that got busted for gambling and got signed, or, well, it could be in the NFL, because the kid that got kicked out of Iowa State doing the same thing, just a lot less money to gamble, he got picked up today by the Saints. He played in the UFL. The Deckers kid got caught. He signed today. So, going back to your point, I don't really think the NFL is going to care about this too much. Like they do in college. And, hopefully it works out for the kid. I did think he made the right decision because all that heat that kept getting put on Texas Tech, there's no way you can play it after everything that happened.
Hey Tom, the answer is clear. There is a UFL team in Houston. Do you know what their mascot is?
The Gambler.
Yeah, that's the obvious answer.
I know it would be funny if Sorsby plays in the UFL next year and he plays with Gambler. Deep down, I am hoping that it happens because it is the best marketing tool you could possibly want for the UFL.
That'd be like OJ playing for a team called the I Did It's.
Oh, my God. Tom, let me ask you this. On a serious note, how good do you think Sorsby will be in the NFL? Some analysts said he would have gotten drafted ahead of the Ty Simpsons of the world. How good do you think he will be?
I mean, he is a good player. I did think he was slightly overrated, but a lot of that could have been, Cincinnati. They weren't very good. And I don't know. I would have loved to have seen him in that Texas Tech offense because that's going to be a really good football team. I mean, I do believe he probably would have been, drafted as one of those first three quarterbacks. That doesn't necessarily mean it would translate, but we see it every year. Quarterbacks with good numbers in college, they get drafted high. So, I don't know. I hope it works out. I hope he ends up, going and falling out and forgetting this ever happened. But, I mean, he was probably been, one of the, first 3 or 4 quarterbacks taken, realistically.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
But,
top 5 for sure. Top 5.
Yeah, top 5 there. But, I've been busy. I've been celebrating the little games, winning the UFL championship, the Hurricanes winning the Stanley Cup.
Oh, the UFL's over?
It's over.
Oh.
That was a great football game, by the way.
When was it?
Fantastic football game. It was last Saturday. I told you I had that wedding. And so what they did is they brought in a projector and they put it on the big projector screen. And we were all sitting there watching.
Oh, my God. Well, I'm glad you're excited, and maybe football season can get here quickly, Tom, because the Braves are they're done, right?
Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. We might have to start asking ourselves how much longer Walter White can be the manager of the baseball team.
Tom, with the wedding, with the game on during the wedding, were you fighting it not to cheer during the vows?
Oh, I was good. I kept my mouth shut until the reception started.
That's good.
Of course. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate you.
Go Gamecocks!
Oh, Tom in Somerville. Diesel, we keep it rolling. Cocky for a reason. What's up, Cocky?
What's going on, guys?
Hey,
man.
Usually this time of year is like, we're doing the doldrums. We're sitting there twiddling our thumbs waiting for football.
Yeah.
But it's like sports is going crazy here lately. We got all this stuff going on. We got the World Cup coming in. Yeah. Hey, have y'all talked U.S. Open just getting ready to start?
We did yesterday and today. Where
Yeah,
are
we
you
did.
in?
I missed it yesterday for some reason. I don't know.
Pitiful.
Hey,
But you're, hey, I will say,
y'all know-
Cocky, let me cut you off real quick. I will say you are right. Diesel and I have talked about this as well. The dog days of summer are a little bit better this year. The NBA finals were much better. The NHL finals were much better. You do have the World Cup. That obviously adds a little bit as well. We've talked about that a little bit. And golf's been okay. You're right. It hadn't hit yet. Like we've struggled. We do fill a 4-hour show. I wouldn't say we struggled, but you don't have the same amount of sports that you have obviously during the spring and the fall. But I'll tell you what else has helped Diesel and Cocky. Kevin Schnall in Carolina, that's helped a lot too. We've had a lot to talk about recently, so hopefully it'll carry into July.
Well, at least the game goes I have a lot to talk about. Clemson, maybe not, but Carolina's got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, Clemson's got a little bit to talk about because Dabo Swinney apparently is walking back some of his comments on the cheating and the tampering, or at least that's if you read the comment section, everybody's saying he's beep backing it up. Do you think Dabo Swinney is backing it up, or do you think he's just trying to clarify?
I think he's just trying to clarify. I mean, Dabo's a class guy. I mean, he's not going to throw anybody anybody under the bus, and he's going to be positive. He's going to be supportive of people. So I ain't got nothing but love for Dabo.
Whoa.
He's a good stand-up guy. So I ain't got nothing but love for him on that.
That's a nice call. I mean, that was really nice.
Yeah. Well, Cocky, do you remember what the low stands for in Tolo? What is that?
What's Tolo stand for?
Yeah, what is
leave it on?
leave it on?
Leave it on.
That's the problem. We've been talking. You asked us like I've been talking about the U.S. Open, where you didn't leave it on, Cocky. So I'm calling you out.
I gotta work for a living.
Oh, come on.
Oh, bull.
Come on. Somebody's got to do it.
If I could be like Tom and just like sit around and listen to the sports, I'd be a happy guy. I gotta work for a living.
Does your boss know that you call us every day at 5:20? Like, I really want to know that.
You want the inside scoop on that?
As long as it doesn't get you in trouble.
Yeah, where do you have to go hide?
He is the boss.
Where do you have to go hide to call us?
He's listening right now. He's listening right now. He came up to me one time and said, "Are you cocky for a reason?" I said, "Yes." Me. Oh, crap! I knew it was you.
Love it. Cocky, appreciate the phone call.
Yeah, man.
Talk soon.
Cocky for a reason. Good stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Where were we anyway?
Well, we were talking about how the Dallas Cowboys are never going to win a Super Bowl, and Brandon Burnett texted in and said, "Great call, but it don't matter who the quarterback is. Cowboys never winning a Super Bowl again."
Come on. The Knicks said the same thing. Y'all said the same thing about the Knicks. You think it's just a coincidence the Knicks – let me tell you, and we're going to talk about the Cowboys in the next segment, believe it or not. So, I'll hold it. I'll save it, Diesel. We'll get back to Brendan Sorsby. I can save it. Adam also said, Tom going from Braves going to win 120 games to it's not looking good. Ha, ha, go Yankees. Look, Adam, I'm in the same boat he is. I mean, the Braves fans have seen way too many postseason collapses to have faith. And, we started off really good. And are we still a good team? I think so. Got a lot of guys out right now, but the Braves aren't playing good. And, hey, last night, guess who came back and hit a home run in his first at-bat, Diesel? Drake Baldwin.
Whoa.
So that was massive, right? But the Braves right now, man, they're just in a slump, and that's baseball. Hopefully they come out on the right side of this slump here in the next few days.
A little live update for you. The West Virginia Mountaineers have scored again. It is now 12-7, bottom of the ninth, 1 out. So they are down to their last 2 outs, Cole, to try to come back and make this thing a ball game.
And Caden Glauber's still in the game, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And West Virginia just got a base hit to put one runner on with 1 out. So we'll see if they can rally down 5. That was Matthew Graveline. He is 4 for 4 today, 2 RBIs. He's hitting .375 in the College World Series, which is pretty impressive.
So Cole, we never got to this. You said you had audio, right,
yes,
from inside the locker room.
This was Lewis Riddick this morning on Get Up. This is really good stuff. Here's Lewis Riddick from earlier this morning.
You're a team that could use a quarterback, and he winds up in the supplemental set. How do you proceed? What are the steps here?
Yeah, we can proceed very slowly and with a whole lot of caution. Grady, look, you've heard me talk about this numerous different times, okay? There's the football character piece, there's the personal character piece, and then there's the physical skills piece. Before we even get to the physical skills, we're talking about personal character here now, okay? And football character as it relates to how does he get on with the rest of the football team? Let's just put it this way. Locker rooms can tolerate a lot of things, and they have over the years, and we're going to talk about. If we accept a lot of guys and all of their shortcomings into a locker room, and you're very forgiving of certain guys as far as like their behavior, maybe things that they got into off the football field, because the one thing that you really do kind of like always gel with players about is this: we're here to win football games. And you trust that guys, when they go on the football field, all the stuff that maybe they're dealing with personally is left behind, because we're all out here trying to like establish our livelihood, take care of our families, win football games, because that's what the profession calls for. With this young man, now think about this. You bring him into your football team. As a football player, you're going to be sitting there and thinking, hey, look, you're going to be scrutinizing every single thing he does on the football field on game day. Every pass he throws, you're going, if that's not a complete pass, did you try to do that? Are you betting on us? Are you really are we all rolling in the same direction here? Are you looking out just for yourself? Are you want to think, there's a lot of things. Look, I think Todd Monken said it best. This is a slippery slope. it's a very slippery slope. Because this is the kind of thing you have to be dead sure on as far as this young man has kind of made the strides and done the things necessary to where you feel reasonably assured that this is not going to be an issue that's going to affect your football team and the integrity of the game when your team is out there on the field. And I don't know how you get comfortable with that.
Right.
I don't know at this point.
To your point,
I love Louis Riddick.
Yeah.
Diesel. I absolutely love Louis Riddick and Damian Woody both. Louis Riddick there, if that wasn't a really solid analysis from an NFL perspective, I don't know that you'll hear a better one.
Oof. Warning track power, Cole, ends it. This is what's wild. West Virginia, the batter that ultimately, committed the final out, he put the ball deep on the warning track in right field, and that would have made it a 12-10 ball game. But that's it for the Mountaineers. They're done. The Tar Heels will move on to the championship series. But yeah, right. I mean, I don't know how, if you're Brendan Sorsby, you convince all of your teammates that you're on the up and up. And it feels like you have to do that on a daily basis, at least for your entire rookie season, right? I mean, hey, guys will come in later on, years down the road, if he stays in the NFL that long, and they'll say, hey, aren't you the guy that got busted for gambling on his own team? And he may have to deal with this a little bit from time to time after that. But, it's almost like he's going to have to walk into the locker room every day and show everybody his phone that says, see, 0 bets were wagered today. And that's going to be a hard thing to deal with.
Let's also hear from Damian Woody this morning as well.
if you're an active NFL player, how are you viewing it?
You know, Lewis had kind of touched upon it. We know in the NFL locker room, 53-man roster, everyone's not going to be a good guy. You're going to have some junkyard dogs in the locker room, some guys that you have. But every football player out there knows that betting on games, betting on your own games is a cardinal. That is an absolute cardinal sin. And for me, if I'm in the locker room, no way in hell do I want a guy with the ball in his hand playing the most important position, knowing that I don't know what his intentions are. This is the sport that feeds my family. And to have a guy that could possibly walk in the locker room that could mess up the balance, the delicate balance in the locker room, because we don't know what his intentions are. Like, why in the world would I want that in my locker room? Mm-hmm. Now, listen, I'm all for grace. I'm all for giving people second chances. But damn it, he doesn't bet on 11 million games in his collegiate career. Yeah. And so I would not personally want him in my locker room. I'd rather take the chance with the guy, roll with the guys that's in the locker room. But, like, no way in hell, because everyone knows, every football player knows that you don't bet on games, period.
Wow. Damian Woody, ladies and gentlemen, Diesel, maybe the best audio you'll hear all week, all month, all year. Again, Louis Riddick and Damian Woody, both been in the NFL. And what Damian said right there, man, and that's why I said I love the former player perspective, Diesel, because don't they know better than any of us? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, like you said, we have all talked about this as a gigantic, massive talking point. But what does it matter to the players who are there in the locker room? And that's ultimately what we're going to find out, right?
That's what matters, Diesel.
Yeah, I mean, they don't care about the same things as you and I talking about this on the radio.
Yeah. Let's go to the phone lines. Dan B, we do have to run to a break, but we'll get Dan B in here real quick, 844-326-3663. What do you think about this, Dan?
Yeah, no, I agree with Damian Woody 100%. Anything that messes with the integrity of a game, you're done. That's why, I mean, Pete Rose, done. And he should still be done. And he is still done. The guy that went to jail for the referee in the NBA like 20 years ago.
Donaghy?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Because they can never be trusted. That's your integrity that you decided in your life it was more important for you to bet than play. And you can't do both. So that's it. Like, I'm 100%, this guy should not be playing in the NFL. He shouldn't be playing anywhere.
Wouldn't want him on your team.
Banned for betting sport. No, I don't want him on my team. I don't even want him in the league that I'm in. I get why all those Big 12 teams didn't want to play Texas Tech. I totally get it and was totally on their side. I'm glad Oklahoma AG was like, yeah, well, don't worry about getting sued. We'll go to bat, you know.
Yeah.
And it sort of forced Texas Tech's hand to let him go. Like, be like, you know what, son, you better go because this ain't gonna work. And now I like these former NFL stars are saying the same thing. Like, this guy he's tainted or what? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
And
right.
here's my problem with it, Dan. Is Texas Tech should have been saying that from the very beginning. They should have said, we don't want you anywhere near our football program. But what they said was, oh, we've already paid you a lot of money. We've committed money to you, and we think you're going to be a really, really good quarterback. So we're willing to take the risk. I mean, you know, this whole narrative that everybody in college football just has it out for Texas Tech because they're the new guys, they're the disruptors. That's a load of crap. We all love the disruptors. We love the underdogs coming in and shaking things up. It's the fact that he gambled on his team that the Texas Tech fans just can't understand why people have a problem with this. They're all in this little fantasy land, this little bubble where we didn't do anything wrong. Bull crap. You were going to play a guy that gambled on his team. You were going to play it. So, like, I don't even want to hear it from Texas Tech fans.
I agree with that, too.
Dan, appreciate you.
You got
844-326-3663. I just think what Damian Woody said is just it's look, you can agree with what Damian Woody said, you can disagree with what Damian Woody said, but what you can't disagree with is the fact that that's coming from a guy who played the game at the highest level.
Yeah.
And I think he said it. I think he hit the nail on the head when he said, hey, we can't do it. I can't afford to do it because we're trying to feed our families too. And that's what it boils down to. And I just think that was so well said. By the way, you mentioned it. North Carolina did defeat West Virginia 12-7. So that leaves Georgia and Oklahoma is the only other game tonight, Diesel, and we'll see who plays who. I think it's going to be Georgia, them dogs. What do you like tonight? Like the Sooners or the Dogs, Diesel?
Oh, man, the Dogs can hit, but the Sooners are playing hot. I'd rather go – I think I'm going to go with the team that's playing the best ball right now. I'm going to go with the Oklahoma Sooners.
Oh, KLAHOMA says Diesel. I'm going to go Dogs by 4 tonight.
Interesting.
I hate picking Georgia. I mean, I do. It pains me.
Yeah.
Diesel, it pains me. But I'm going to go Dogs by 4.
Final thing on this, Cole. Keith and TR says that's the problem with the NFL. You could beat your spouse and we'll let it slide, but you better not bet. Keith and TR, you just hit the nail on the head. You know, I've had a problem with the NFL for years of the things that they let slide. And, yeah, guys in the locker room can have opinions. They can agree with, disagree with, overlook, downplay, whatever it is. But the league itself should never sacrifice its integrity. But the league constantly sacrifices its integrity. And, look, I'm not saying college football is a bastion of integrity itself. Lord knows it's not. But the NFL are professionals. And they constantly sacrifice their integrity, and that's one of the things I've always had a hard time being a huge NFL fan for that reason.
So I understand y'all's point, but even though it didn't happen in the NFL, you're still blaming the NFL?
No, I'm talking about when he says players that beat their wives, beat their spouses, and do other terrible things. That's what I'm saying. I have a big problem with. The NFL has let those things slide.
No, I'm with you on that. I don't blame the NFL right now for this because
correct.
The NFL he didn't do anything. He made it the NFL, so it is interesting. Diesel, let's get to. I'm going to move my George Pickens segment to 6 o'clock. Let's get to the earlier segment that I had planned in the 4 o'clock hour. Way too early NBA odds for next season. Is one team Well, Diesel, we were going to get to this earlier in the show. Let's get to it now. There is a team that just won the NBA Finals that maybe getting a little disrespected. You tell me. Way too early Vegas odds to win the 2027 NBA Finals. Do you want to take a wild guess? Well, you can see it on the rundown. The Oklahoma City Thunder, Diesel, are plus 250. Let's start there. The Thunder, plus 250. Does that surprise you? Are the New York Knicks tied for third at plus 700 with the Celtics? Are they being disrespected after they just won a championship?
Well, I mean, we always kind of fall into this pattern, don't we, of immediately after you win a title, you're the favorite to win the next title. And it's incredibly hard to win your first one. I don't think it's a matter of disrespect at all to not be the odds-on favorites. I mean, they're not the most talented team in the league. They've got talent. I'm not saying that they don't. But, they don't have the stud superstars, oh, my God, it's a lock that we're entering into a dynasty mode or a little mini dynasty, however you want to put back-to-back titles of what that would be. Look, I think it's okay, though, to maybe have these teams already getting a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Somebody's going to pass this information along to them and say, hey, you aren't the favorites. You just won one, but you're not the favorites. They say, you know what? We're going to go out there and prove them wrong.
Yeah, it is interesting from the perspective of this. The Knicks are insanely talented. Obviously, Jalen Brunson is awesome. Jalen Brunson, you may still take other superstars in the NBA over Jalen Brunson, but what you can't deny is the fact that I don't want to say single-handedly, Diesel, but he led his team to an NBA title that you and I both know the Knicks don't have any business anywhere near a championship without Jalen Brunson on that roster. 45 points in Game 5. He was terrific. He was terrific all season. So, look, I side more with you on this. I don't think they're being disrespected. They're still tied for third with Boston, which is a pretty good compliment because Boston has a loaded roster, and they still have Jason Tatum last time I checked, right? San Antonio Spurs, though, plus 270. Here's where I like the Thunder at 1. I think with SGA, that team, that they should be the favorite heading in the next season. SGA special. I can't stand to watch him play, but he is special. But these are I would say the Knicks, who just won the championship, should be favored or have better odds to win again next year over the Spurs, who, by the way, big difference. Spurs are plus 270. Knicks are plus 700. Maybe I understand the disrespect there a little bit. The team you just beat to win the NBA championship, by the way, in 5 games, has way better odds to win the NBA championship next year. And I ask you, why? Is it because of Victor Wembanyama alone? Is that why?
You could. I mean, I think it pans down to 2 things. The New York Knicks, as good as they are, they're all getting a year older. But the Spurs, they're still a super young team, and they just got really valuable experience, right? I mean, I think that's invaluable going into next season. I think that's an explanation, a justification of why the Spurs might be a better shot. Plus, I mean, they'll go into this offseason knowing that what they need to acquire, knowing what they need to get better at. You'll have a coach that hopefully gets a little bit better, a little bit wiser as well, and doesn't make the same mistakes that he did this year.
Yeah, that's a part of it too. And then you look at the 5, the Nuggets plus 2,000, the Lakers. I don't know about this. Plus 2,500. If they were healthy this year, I think things could have been a lot different, but they weren't healthy, right? They weren't healthy. So
and LeBron's 80.
See. Yeah, he is 80. If he comes back, he'll be 82, I think.
Yeah, he ages faster than everybody else, right? He's incredible. Yeah. It's incredible that he can play to age 40, whatever, but he also ages 2 years for everyone's one.
The Thunder are interesting, though, at plus 250. SGA special. He's back-to-back league MVP. Again, I can't stand to watch him play because he doesn't play basketball the way basketball should be played. But regardless of that, he is special. That team's special. They've got a really good supporting cast around them. You said it, though, in the NBA. You said this a few minutes ago. In the NBA, we've seen now, we talked about this yesterday. We've seen, 8 different NBA champions? Diesel, 8 different NBA champions in the last 8 years. So I guess we ask the simple question of, does history continue to show that it's a different team, or does history finally end for now and somebody does go back-to-back, and maybe the Knicks do go back-to-back? I'm not saying the Knicks can't go back-to-back. I think they can. What happens with Giannis, though, in the East? If you told me that Giannis goes to Boston, Boston's in the NBA championship next year, right? Like, they're coming out of the East if Giannis and Jason Tatum are on the same team. That's my opinion. But obviously, to history's point, Diesel, there have been 8 different teams, and that matters.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's fun to bet these kind of long odds, right? Because these teams are going to change. They're going to get draft picks.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have some guys are going to go ahead and call it its season or career. You're right. See what Giannis is going to do. What ways are these teams going to? Some are going to be adding by subtraction, right? I mean, De'Aaron Fox. If the Spurs decide to move on from him. By the way, have you seen the jerseys that Knicks fans are printing up? The De'Aaron Fox Knicks jerseys.
Yes,
that's an amazing troll. I love it. If I was a Knicks fan, I would buy one just because it's fun.
I know.
You know, and I was listening to a radio show earlier today. They were talking about these jerseys, and they were like, "This is so stupid. Why would you waste your money on a jersey of a guy that's not even on your team?" Look,
it's funny.
The championship will be remembered. The OG tip-in will be remembered. Jalen Brunson's 40-point performance in game number 6 will be remembered. But some details kind of get lost to time. Now this detail will never get lost to time because Knicks fans are going to be wearing a De'Aaron Fox jersey inside Madison Square Garden for the next 40 years.
Yeah, there will. That's true. The only thing I don't like about it, I loved this series. So did the country. The viewership was as high as it's been since '98. I wish the Spurs would have put up more of a fight because I would still like tonight. I would love tonight to be able to watch one more game. I would love to be able to watch one more game tonight or last night or whatever night it would have been. But no, Victor Wembanyama wants to throw the ball off of his teammate's back, and that didn't get to happen.
Hey, if I'm the Knicks, I am so glad that they're not playing tonight because, look, I mean, how many times, obviously it was every time, but how many more times could the Knicks tempt fate where they get down big early and then they find a way to claw back late in games? It didn't feel like they should have been able to do that 4 times over the course of that series, yet they accomplished it. But again, I wouldn't want to go number 5. I wouldn't want to roll those dice one more time. Cole, I've been to a casino. I'm sure you've been to a casino. The Leprechaun of Lyman's agent just sat down. Maybe he's been to a casino. There are times, Cole, where you get up and you feel like you cannot lose. And then you play one more hand of blackjack. Or you roll those dice one more time at the craps table and you say, that was really stupid of me. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I'm with you. No, I'm with you 100%.
Yeah. Hey, it's a star-studded affair out here at the Ingalls in Greer. The gift card is gone. Cole, a fellow App State Mountaineer, came by and grabbed it earlier. So good to meet him. And again, Leprechaun's agent just sat down. We had a brand new Tolo. What was his name, Cole? I wrote it down. It was a sort of a strange German name, American guy. He had a German Gernot.
Sorry,
Gernot.
It was high note, low note, something like that. Gernot, something.
He came by the show earlier.
Gernot.
He said he was a Detroit native, moved to Tampa in the early 70s. He was there as a Buccaneers fan while Melissa Level was a cheerleader for the Buccaneers, and he moved up here a couple of years ago, and he's loving life, living in the Upstate.
Love it.
So good stuff.
It. Absolutely love it.
When we come back, Cole, we're going to close out this 5 o'clock hour with the surprising phone call of the day when Cocky for a Reason said he's got nothing but love for Dabo Sweeney, the coach of the Clemson Tigers. He's taking heat. He's taking heat again because he just keeps doing interviews about this whole tampering thing. And what did he have to say? And is it justified that he's having to fend off all these arrows? We'll talk about that next.
You know better than career coaches making 100 times your salary? You're listening to the right show.
This is Wire to Wire with Cole, Bryson, and Diesel on the Fan Upstate.
Tolos, when you reach for something off of a high shelf, does it hurt your shoulder when you grab things? How about when you tie your shoes? Does it kill your ankle or your knee to bend down? Do you limit yourself to only playing 9 holes or skip playing golf altogether because your elbow is burning by the end of the round? Hey, this is Diesel here with QC Kinetics, and we're here to celebrate what you can do and not what you used to be able to do. We want to talk about what you can do again. If any of what I just said sounds familiar to you, it's time to make those things a thing of the past, that joint pain, and get back to living your life. You've heard me talking about QC Kinetics, so maybe you're a little confused about what exactly QC Kinetics is. Shout out to the Leprechaun of Lyman's agent. Just stopped by here at 1524 Locust Hill Road in Greer. Tolos, come on by. We're kind of over in the Lake Robinson area. If you know the water tower in Greer, that's where we are. We're at Ingalls Markets. Come by and see us. We still got some prizes to give away on the table, Cole. I know you're into this. We got season 1 of Landman, season 2 of Landman as well. We got some
probably my favorite show there.
Fallout DVDs. Like, you know, I mean, most people don't even have a. Do you still have a DVD player, or are you all streaming?
I have not. I don't know if I've ever. I mean, I
Come
remember the
on,
last
you're
time
not
I
that
ever
young.
used DVDs. No. Listen, I used my Xbox.
Okay, Blu-ray.
I mean, I'm sure at one point, point I owned a DVD. I mean, not since I've been an adult. I have not owned the DVD player since I've been an adult. I can tell you that.
Okay. So you've got a device capable of playing Blu-rays and DVDs.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Whoa, you're all streaming.
I haven't owned a gaming console. I haven't owned a gaming console since I was in college.
What happens, Cole, when your favorite content gets moved and you don't have the subscription for it? You got to own something.
It's tough.
Yeah, I know.
No, I own 0 consoles.
It's I've heard, Cole, that they're making it come back DVD players, like they're a hot ticket item again because people are mad about their stuff getting moved around. But anyway, I wanted to talk about this On3 article, this interview that Dabo Swinney did with On3 Sports. Look, as much as we've all given Texas Tech a hard time over the past, 10 days or so, we must not forget that Ole Miss is a cheater football program and that Pete Golding tampered and brought Luke Farrelly to Ole Miss after he was on contract with Clemson and he was on campus in an apartment. But Dabo Swinney did an interview with On3 and he said, quote, "I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble. It's not about a certain player or anything like that. It's more, can we do this? Is this allowed? Can an NFL team right now call up the backup and say, hey, come on over here, even though he's on contract?" I just think there needs to be clarity of what we can do and what we cannot do. And, as it's not surprising, the comment section is absolutely grilling Dabo Swinney today. But he's absolutely right, Cole. He's fighting for the integrity of college football and the integrity of guys being on contract and being on campus. Again, not surprising that fans of Ole Miss are coming after him. South Carolina Gamecock fans are coming after him in the comment section, calling him sanctimonious, calling him backtracking. I think he's dead on, though.
Well, fans of opposing schools are going to do what? I mean, they're gonna find something, right?
Yeah, of course.
And Dabo Swinney, like, whether you love him or hate him, he's got core principles. He's got core values. He refuses to tolerate just any kind of behavior. And, it reminds me of the old song, you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything, right? And Dabo Swinney is he stands for what he believes in, and he doesn't waver from that. So you got to give him credit for that. Diesel, we were supposed to get into it earlier in the show. Let's get into it to start the 6 o'clock hour. I'm not saying this because I'm a Cowboys fan, but I do think NFL players should be praised for things like this when they don't do what we criticize them for. What am I talking about? We'll get into it next. I am all for people, players, whoever, receiving praise when not putting words in your mouth, but when I think they should receive praise, because the NFL's it's a tough business, right? We see all of the time in the NFL, these players hold out because of what? Contract disputes. I can think of, if we go back and do a little bit of research, you can probably find every year over the last 2 decades, Diesel, that there's been a big profile player, right, that's sat out, missed games, missed OTAs, missed training camp because of a contract dispute. It almost has become normal in today's NFL, right? If you don't get the contract dispute settled, what do? You just sit out. You don't show up to work. A franchise tag isn't good enough. That's where we are. Diesel, the reason I bring this up, I think in these situations we must praise, at least and I know this is going to sound biased because he plays for the Dallas Cowboys, but you have a wide receiver, maybe the best in the league statistically, who had one of the best seasons last year in George Pickens, who is in a major contract dispute with the Dallas Cowboys. Mm-hmm. And CeeDee Lamb did this, Diesel, not long ago. You remember that? Players from other organizations do it every year, it feels like. George Pickens did something that I think absolutely broke the script of the NFL yesterday by showing up the minicamp and not sitting out minicamp, not sitting out training camp because of a contract dispute. And I just think in this world that we live in, I think these type of things should be commended because you just don't see it. He's on a franchise tag. I think it's $24 million, Diesel. And at the end of the day, George Pickens, whether you love him or hate him, whether you love the Cowboys or hate the Cowboys, he is breaking the mantra of what normally happens in this situation.
It's very true, Cole. And, unfortunately, the model really, if you're in a contract dispute with your team in the NFL, is to sit out and think that will force them into signing. Look, they're still receiving a paycheck. When you're sitting out, you're still getting a paycheck until it gets to a certain point, right? I would think, and look, maybe I'm just an idiot who works on the radio in South Carolina and don't know how it works inside of an NFL organization. But I would think I would have a better position to negotiate from if I'm still showing up to work, if I'm still doing my job on a daily basis, if I'm still performing to the best of my ability and everything that I'm supposed to be doing in the off season. I don't know, Cole. Like, again, this is the way the NFL has worked for a long time. I wouldn't think that if I just stopped showing up to work, that my bosses would think too kindly on that and want to keep me around.
No, you're right. And I think that's a very valid point of this argument when you talk about George Pickens. As valuable as he is, look at what he did last year, his numbers on a franchise tag. He was placed on the franchise tag again this year. And for the last 15 to 20 years, Diesel, the NFL has steadily shifted from a show-up-and-play culture to a leverage every ounce of your contract value culture, right? That's what it's become. It has become leverage, leverage, leverage. And when stars don't get paid, they skip OTAs, they skip minicamp, they hold out in training camp, or they outright hold out completely. We've seen it. That's why I think, and again, I know people think, oh, he's a Cowboys fan. That's why I think this Pickens thing stands out so much, this approach. He signed the tag very quickly. He reported to mandatory minicamp. You know the word mandatory, Diesel. That means you got to show up, right? That's what mandatory means. Some people don't realize that. And publicly said he's not planning to hold out, despite Dallas's refusal to negotiate a long-term deal until after the season. So Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones have said, no, we're not doing a deal with you until after the season. And George Pickens, if he would have sat out and held out, Diesel, it would not have surprised me one bit. But you know what I think this goes back to? And I'm not saying he's the next coming of the greatest coach in the history of the NFL. But Diesel, I think this points to one thing, and you tell me your thoughts on it. This points to a strong culture built by Brian Schottenheimer, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, who is entering his second season, has built this culture and allowed his players. You go hear what Shotty has said on the record in interviews. He said the number one thing I want to do, the number one thing I want to be is be transparent with my players. And when you, Diesel, build a strong culture inside that locker room, as fragile as an NFL locker room might be, when you can build that type of culture, I think that's when you see this level of buy-in. I'm not saying the Cowboys have the best culture in the NFL. I just think when you talk about these players doing this, I think it all starts with that C word, the culture is where I think it starts.
Yeah, I mean, look at what just happened, a year ago with Micah Parsons. I know he didn't sit out in the full sense. He held in.
Almost, yeah.
But he almost did. And if I'm Jerry Jones, and especially if I'm George Pickens' representation, I'm going to them and saying, look, your star player, your baby over there, he sat out. He didn't fully participate in the off season, and you felt like you had no choice but to move on from him because it was an untenable situation. I don't want to be that. I want to do everything I can for this team because I want to be a Dallas Cowboy. I want to stay here. I want to be for the team, not against the team, and only for myself. And I don't know if that's gonna, I don't know if that's gonna make something twitch in Jerry Jones's heart, but it should.
Maybe it does. And I think what you said a few minutes ago should go a long way. And I don't know if the contract, if the deal gets done, he'll be one of the highest paid receivers in the NFL because of what he did last year. I don't know if the deal, Diesel, gets done any earlier, but I will tell you this. What you said a few minutes ago, I think should carry a lot of weight to a front office like Dallas because, hey, every other guy has held out. Le'Veon Bell held out in 2018. You remember, Diesel, Le'Veon Bell refused to sign the franchise tag. Sat out the entire season. He forfeited $14.5 million and was a free agent. Talking about $14.5 million. Chris Jones did it with the Kansas City Chiefs in 2023. Roquan Smith did it with the Ravens in 22. Lamar Jackson did it. He didn't technically hold out, but negotiated publicly and aggressively. You go back, I mean, people have done this for the entire history of the NFL, seems like. And I think when you talk about leverage, usually leverage is what I said a few minutes ago, players saying, hey, I'm going to sit out, I'm going to hold out, that's my leverage. I think the approach George Pickens has taken, Diesel, is this. I had baggage when Pittsburgh let me go and when I came to Dallas. I had a little bit of baggage because of what the rumors were to be about me when I was in Pittsburgh, about me not being a team kind of guy, right? Me not being a team player. And I think Brian Schottenheimer, this coach, has gotten such a good relationship with his player in George Pickens that George Pickens understands the buy-in and understands what you said a minute ago, Diesel. I think he does at least. I hadn't talked to him, but I think he does. I think he understands that, hey, if I want to be the highest paid receiver in the NFL, and he might be here in the next year or so, I need to probably show a little bit of goodwill because I didn't have that goodwill when I left Pittsburgh and when I came to Dallas. And I know a lot of people out there think, it's going to be – I just think ultimately goodwill does go a long way. That doesn't mean it's going to happen fast. That doesn't mean the deal is going to happen before the season. But you said it, goodwill should go a long way in this situation.
Yeah, I would think so, Cole. Want to go back to something that we talked about in the last segment, and I need to school one of our Tolos who, of course, never puts their name on their text messages. Texter had a problem with what I said about the NFL and them, turning a blind eye, so to speak, from domestic abuse within its ranks. And he questioned who did the NFL let beat their wives? And I said, look, man, I'm hosting a live radio show. I don't have enough time to list every single one of them. And he said, well, if you're going to talk about it, you got to have some evidence. Well, here's my evidence, man. How about this? Tyreek Hill, he pled guilty in 2015 to domestic assault. Went on to have a great career in the NFL. Kareem Hunt pled guilty to domestic assault. He was only suspended 8 games by the NFL, then signed with Cleveland and has continued his career. Joe Mixon, Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson abused a child, and he was let to play after that. Zeke got some trouble. Greg Hardy, Von Miller. The list is enormous. Jerry Jeudy, he's still playing in the NFL after his arrest for domestic abuse. So don't come at me like I don't know anything about players that have been arrested in the NFL for domestic violence. Some have pled guilty. Some have been convicted, yet they were still allowed to play in the NFL.
Yeah, and to be fair with Zeke, to come to Zeke's defense,
Sure.
Zeke was never charged criminally.
That's
it was
fair.
all allegations.
That's fair.
I'm gonna take up for Zeke a little bit. I'm gonna take up for Zeke. I'm gonna
I
take
get
up
it.
for Zeke.
I get
Be the
it.
Cowboy. Hopefully he didn't. Right.
Right.
Hopefully, but
Still got to throw a little shade at the Dallas Cowboys in the process.
Greg
right?
Hardy did. Greg Hardy played for the Cowboys. I think he played for the Panthers before. Maybe it was the reverse. Nonetheless, Greg Hardy was in a little bit of trouble for that as well.
Well, now he's getting punched in the head in the UFC, and he's not very good at that either.
Yeah. No, he's not. Let's see. Texter. Oh, this is cocky for a reason. He says Pickens will not be a Dallas Cowboy much longer. He has too much character to be a Cowboy. Come on to the Panthers, baby. Look, he's a good player. I'm telling you, that offense last year for Dallas, it was only as good as it was. CeeDee Lamb's good, but it was in large part due to George Pickens. And if he can continue to be that kind of receiver, and you know what else I think is interesting about this, Diesel? Two things. Number one, I think there needs to be there probably is a study out there somewhere, and maybe you and I need to see if we can get our hands on it. I think there needs to be a study done, and if there is, I apologize if there's one out there already. I would like to see, Diesel, how players on average perform in the NFL in a franchise tag contract year situation, statistically, you with me, compared to after they get that big long-term deal. I don't know this to be fact, so I'm not going to act like I am just reading facts off of a screen or an article. But I would imagine, Diesel, if you did a study, there is some information, data out there somewhere that shows players are statistically better in their contract year or on their franchise tag year compared to what happens when they get that big deal. Zeke Elliott, after he got that massive deal, was never the same. And you could go on and on and on. I think there probably is one already out there, and I apologize for not having it, but I think that is a big part of this conversation when you talk about players playing to their potential.
Yeah, good point. Cole, here's a little breaking news for you. 6 hours ago, I don't know why this information is just coming out now. Maybe Texas Tech slid this agent a big fat check. But Ron Slavin, Brendan Sorsby's agent, now claims that Cincinnati knew all about Brendan Sorsby's gambling addiction for over 2 years and didn't do anything about it.
How about that? That's rough.
I mean, if proven true, we should all go after Cincinnati with the same ire that we went after Texas Tech. I mean, if that's the case, then they knew about it and they played him. Texas Tech just planned to play him, right? It's like the difference between committing a murder and plotting a murder, right? They're both still bad. Like, we can't act like one isn't bad, but we should definitely go after Cincinnati with the same ire.
And it'll be interesting to see if the NCAA or anybody else doesn't try to investigate that anymore.
Yeah.
Texter says Cowboys defense will still be awful. Well, look, and again, we'll talk about this more as the season gets closer and closer. But I think that when you talk about as bad as that defense, and Texter, trust me, I watched every game. I saw how bad it was. It was god-awful. It was horrific last year. Diesel, we talked about it. Their offense was great, league best at times.
Yeah.
Defense, league worst at times.
I mean, there's Swiss cheese in the deli over here with smaller holes in it.
It was that bad. It was, and I'll give that to you. However, since trading Micah Parsons, Diesel, and you and I sat in this studio, and I was devastated when that happened. You remember that last August?
Yeah.
I think, a college football game about to come on or something?
You came in with your cowboy hat tilted to the side.
It was bad.
It was bad. Your Spurs were not jingling and jangling that day.
No, but since the Cowboys traded Micah Parsons, Texter, they have acquired Quinnen Williams, defensive tackle, in a trade, Rashawn Gary, defensive end, in a trade, Jalen Thompson, safety, in a free agent pickup, drafted Caleb Downs with that pick from Micah Parsons, and they also got a first-round pick from defensive end Malachi Lawrence out of UCF. I'm not saying those 5 players are going to automatically turn this defense around and make it the league best. But you did get a new defensive coordinator in Christian Parker from the Philadelphia Eagles, who was highly regarded across the league. And when you add a guy like Quinnen Williams, Rashawn Gary, Jalen Thompson, Caleb Downs has a ton of upside. Malachi Lawrence has a ton of upside. Yes, they were bad last year, surely they won't be as bad as they were. I don't think they can be much worse statistically, so we'll see if they can be better. I think if they can be a little bit better, Texter, I'll tell you this. If the offense is close to what it was last year with Dak, CD, and George Pickens, if the defense can be near the middle of the league and not at the bottom of the league, I'm not saying they go win the Super Bowl, but I think you're talking about a massive difference, Diesel, just in terms of being able to stay competitive in games as to where last year they were exactly what you talked about, being Swiss cheese over there in the Ingles Deli, where you are in Korea.
It blew me away, Cole. Walking through the store a couple of times, I always gravitate towards the apple fritters in the bakery over there. But, man, I let my eyes wander, and I saw turnovers. I saw pies. I saw stuffed croissants, cookies, cakes, muffins of all different types. They even have I think didn't we have a Tolo 2 weeks ago tell us that Ingles made their wedding cake? They had this case back there by the bakery with 2 cakes on display right now that are incredible. I mean, I'm talking a 4-layer cake back there with extra little accoutrement, little things stuck to the side. Right? What'd you call me? There was an edible. There was an edible butterfly. Get your head out of the gutter, Cole. An edible butterfly. This one had it was a spring theme, right? There was edible flowers and edible butterflies. It was incredible what they can do here at the bakery, and I'm going to be taking some of this stuff home with me. Not the 4-layer cake, but at least some fritters.
Well, let me tell you this: if you want to live your best life, and you want to live your best life possible, all the cakes back there in Ingles are good. I love the Ingles Bakery, but I will tell you this, and I hadn't splurged in a long time because I've been really strict on my health kick lately. Right? I'm down to 171 today, by the way. Pretty good. If you want to live your best life, though, Diesel, you got to go get the carrot cake. If you want to be the best version, there is no better cake out there.
What an endorsement!
Ingles, what an endorsement! Diesel, carrot cake's the best cake there is, hands down. It's the best cake. Ingles has great cake.
Ever the number one tippy top cake for Cole Bryson is carrot cake.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, wow. I don't love what I don't love? The regular old vanilla plain cake. I don't love that. Chocolate. Man,
yeah.
I like a carrot cake, Diesel, and I like a red velvet cake, a good moist red velvet cake.
You want something with a little pizzazz to it,
Pizzazz. I'm a pizzazz kind of guy.
Everybody can tell. Yeah, everybody can tell.
But those two, I mean, you like those two or no? You like?
I love carrot cake. It's really good. I love carrot cake, and carrot cakes are usually decorated. They're nice. I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of German chocolate cake. Red velvet cake is amazing as well. But I'm with you. If cake needs ice cream on top, then it's not a great standalone cake. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that it needs a little help, right? Every Jordan needs a Pippen.
Yeah. Do you know this, though? We're going to run to a break here in a second. Did you know that red velvet cake, and a lot of people don't know this, red velvet cake has chocolate in it?
Really?
Cocoa powder. Yeah.
Really?
Red velvet cake, and you don't taste it. I don't think you do. But red velvet cake contains cocoa powder. It's a small amount now. It's a small amount.
Okay.
It's not like a ginormous amount of cocoa powder. It might be a tablespoon or 2. But yeah, it does. It has cocoa powder. I've never ate a red velvet cake and tasted chocolate in my life. But if you make it, you got to put a little cocoa powder in there.
I'm going to throw another little piece of trivia at you. Did you know that German chocolate cake did not originate in Germany?
No, I did not know
it's
that.
American. It's American. The guy that invented it, his name was Samuel German.
Oh, that's why they call it.
Yeah.
German chocolate cake is good, though. I'll give you that.
It's amazing.
That is a good one. I don't like regular old chocolate cake. It's just kind of meh to me. Like the regular vanilla, the regular chocolate, meh. But German chocolate cake, you're right. That's up there. I would go my top 2. Ooh. I don't know. I think I would go carrot cake 1, red velvet 2, and I'll go with your German chocolate is 3. My top 3 power rankings. What would you have at 1?
German chocolate cake is my number 1. That was my last birthday cake, and I think it's been my last 5 birthday cakes because I just can't. I don't get it otherwise, right? German chocolate cake number 1. Gosh. Red velvet cake's probably 3. What would my number 2 slot be? I don't know. I think it'd have to be something with some kind of like swirl to it. I like anything that's got those little chocolate shards on it. You know, the thin chocolate that they break up, like they do in Breaking Bad, and like they put the little chocolate shards in it. I'm a sucker for that.
Chocolate shard.
Yeah.
Chocolate shard.
It's just like a little piece of. It's like a flat, thin piece of chocolate that's broken up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like broken glass. Yeah, I know. There's some connotation there.
Anyways,
moving on.
Ingles has the best cakes
They do.
in the world. I mean, in the world. You can't find a better cake than an Ingles Market.
And you got to walk past an entire chicken wing and chicken tender bar to get to all of those cakes. You know, it's a gauntlet here at Ingles Markets. 1524 Locust Hill Road, going to be here for another 39 minutes or so, Tolos, if you want to stop by and say hello. But, hey, in case you missed it earlier in the show, we had a great conversation with a great college baseball writer who is boots on the ground in Omaha. As a matter of fact, he was talking to us from the press box, from a quiet little corner. Andrew Rieddell going to join the show next right here on the Fan Upstate.
Wait.